WCCO.
Closure of a sprawling St. Paul homeless encampment in Pig's Eye Park is still underway amid a few clashes.
As of early afternoon, there were still several campers at the site. Assistant Mayor Cedric Baker.
We understand that it will be a long day. We respect the individuals that are down there.
He explained why this had to happen.
We are not painting everyone this with a broad brush that's saying everyone is committing crime. But there is a level of issues and situations that are going on out there that we had to resolve and deal with.
For those left behind, what's next?
We can't make people say yes, but those that are saying yes, we have the space for you.
At Lower Landing Park, Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Nearby shelters are stepping up to help fill the gap.
With tents popping up outside the facility, Catholic Charities of the Twin Cities is offering voluntary services without requiring formal identification, setting it apart from some other standard shelters in the area. Chief Program Officer Keith Kazurski.
Someone's out leaving one of these encampments and that they're unsure, that they come in and try things and start with a meal, start with something that feels safe to them.
The organization has added 49 beds to accommodate displaced people and is evaluating how to handle ongoing rolling closures of other local encampments in the coming months. In downtown St. Paul, I'm Taylor Rivera. News Talk 830 WCCO.
St. Cloud police have taken an 11-year-old boy into custody after he allegedly stabbed an 18-year-old multiple times.
Investigators say it happened inside a business yesterday. They say the victim and people inside that business were able to subdue the suspect until they got there. The 18-year-old who was attacked was taken to the hospital with serious but not life-threatening injuries. Police believe it was a random act, that the two didn't know each other. They're still trying to figure out, though, why that 11-year-old lashed out. They are currently speaking to family. No word yet on what's next for the boy. Susie Jones, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Some painful cuts coming to Minnesota State Mankato. Leaders announcing today they'll need to cut around 60 positions and offer early retirement packages in order to make up for a $22 million budget shortfall over the next 2 years. They say costs have continued to rise, while tuition revenue and state support have not kept pace. Target Field concessions workers holding a one-day unfair labor practices strike today ahead of tonight's sold-out Noah Khan show. Operator Delaware North says Target Field will be fully staffed for tonight's concert. WCCO News Time is 3:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crosstown westbound in Edina is crawling due to a fender bender between Highway 100 and Tracy Avenue. Over on 35W southbound, they just picked up a fresh crash down in Burnsville, right where the 35 splits, so be aware of that one. 610 westbound in Brooklyn Park has two cars on the shoulder between Noble and Regent Avenue. Everyone's slowing down to take a look, so that's backing things up over there. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren K. Meyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Gutman Law, wills, trusts, and probate law at gutmanlaw.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
It's another windows open, comfortable kind of night tonight. Partly cloudy as we fall back to 61. Will be partly cloudy tomorrow as well. It should be warmer with a high of 84. The wind is going to pick up. Coming from the southwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. A few isolated showers are possible on Friday. Most of us will stay dry.
Sunny right now, 79 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
No one knows the state of the states like we do. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
Is it wrong to say get a job? The homeless encampment in St. Paul swept up. I feel like I'm not Mr. No compassion on this thing, but I've hit pretty much the end of my patience. It's drive time. I'm not alone. City of St. Paul up early this morning sweeping an encampment, but it's hard to look at what happened today in St. Paul and judge if it's a success or a failure. Because we as a society have just decided that if you want to sleep on the street, well, we must. You heard the news from Laura. Well, we're not even going to require ID. Let's meet people where they are. Let's see them. Let's be I get it, but it's been 4 years of this garbage on our streets and enough. I just have had enough. This said, if the people get swept up and just go to another homeless encampment, have we actually done anything today? Love your feedback at 651-461-9226. I want to talk with Tyler Quatrin, who is covering this story for the Pioneer Press. He's been on scene in the morning at the Pig's Eye encampment that was cleared out, and then moving over with a number of the residents who have just relocated to another homeless encampment. Tyler's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Thanks for being with us, Tyler.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Jason.
When you look at this reality of people being swept to another encampment, what did you see at the scene today?
Yeah, well, it was a very different attitude across the day. It started I was getting there at 7. That's about, an hour before the planned sweep at 8. Folks were starting to show up and help the residents move. But it didn't take long for things to get sort of tense. You had a moment where heavy machinery started to come in. Just one, I don't want to say a bulldozer. I'm not sure exactly what it was. But it came in from one side of the camp, and you had calls from activists to go near it. And that's exactly what they did. They ran towards it. One brought a couch, sort of a blockade to prevent it. Someone threw, it looked like a tomato, maybe a paint bomb or something that hit the windshield of this thing. But it didn't take long for that to turn around and go back to where it came from, and it was not seen the rest of the day. Besides a couple other tense moments, things got a lot calmer around noon, the middle of the day. It was mostly volunteers running the show. There wasn't a lot of city officials there besides some from the fire department. But
which is sort of crazy, isn't it? Did you expect that? Obviously there's been a City of St. Paul scenario, and everybody's trying to be sensitive and understandable when you're taking people who've been living on the street for however long. But to a certain degree, as an outsider, you're like, what are we doing here? Like volunteers running the show, police weren't really allowed in, right? It was sort of firefighters and other city folks kind of on the periphery.
There was one sort of standoff between activists and police on one side. That was happening in the morning around the same time. People were kind of on radios monitoring the perimeter to see if people were going to come in. And that didn't happen. It kind of seemed like the city knew that wasn't a smart idea, because when they tried to do it, it just started escalating things. That standoff between police, there was a barricade in between them. And they didn't really, there's a couple chants, but that didn't really go anywhere. So it was just a couple, fire department officials, I guess the DSI, which is
sanitation, right? Inspection, sure.
Inspections. They came in sort of towards the end and took over once a lot of the volunteers were here at the Randolph encampment helping folks. But besides that, it was really just volunteers. They were the ones opening the gates to let the cars in. They were the ones, really the only visible people that you saw at the entrance, besides some of the fire officials throughout the camp during the day.
Tyler Quatrin is with the Pioneer Press. Stories available for you at twincities.com. Tyler, when you look at the reality here, and this is where I think a lot of people, there will be a political fallout to this, but also the human fallout. To a certain degree, you want to see progress, right? Like this was done, I don't know, it was announced a little over a month ago that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
But if people are just, the people in this camp are just moving to another encampment, and that's basically what you saw, right? Like volunteers were escorting people to another encampment. So it'll be interesting how people judge if this actually accomplished anything or not.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple individuals I talked to within the last week or two that mentioned that they had been working with caseworkers to find an apartment and were successful at doing so. But many of the people who were still in the camp at Pig's Eye today, they were just loading into cars and vans and moving here to Randolph and maybe some other camps as well. But really, I talked to one gentleman who mentioned that, when they started moving people to Pig's Eye in the winter because other encampments closed, there were only 2 tents at Pig's Eye. And then all of a sudden that grew to, almost 200 people today or before today. And I think a lot of people are worried that that's exactly what's going to happen at Randolph and keep closing encampments. They're just saying folks are just going to go to other camps.
Tyler Quatrin, I appreciate the dispatch from the scene this afternoon. Thanks for spending some time with us tonight.
You got it. Thanks a lot, Jason.
All right, Tyler Quatrin for the Pioneer Press. You can read Tyler's reporting and the team at twincities.com. Obviously, our reporting available for you as well at WCCOradio.com. The question for you, are you happy with what happened today? I just think we have been too tolerant of this. And I am concerned that if we sweep up this homeless encampment, people not only are going to go to the Randolph encampment, and then St. Paul will clear that out, and you're just sort of playing kick the can down the road. And what's next? They come to Minneapolis, and then here, what will Minneapolis do? I don't know, but I think at a certain point, who runs the streets? Is it people without a job, people who refuse to go to a shelter because they are addicted to drugs or they want to have sex or they don't want to follow the rules? I read something in the Star Tribune today that one of the people at the Pig's Eye encampment was asked, are you going to go to one of these county or city provided shelters? And the resident said, well, I really would like my own place with my own bathroom. I'm like, well, yeah, so everybody would. Get it together. I don't know. I may sound callous. You're welcome to respond to that as well. 651-461-9226. Drive Time back in a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Let's talk about an opportunity for you to feel like yourself again. It's Jason for my friends at Livia Weight Control Centers. The Livia team has absolutely changed my life. Losing 45 pounds, keeping that weight off. And that's the key, right? Like, there are lots of different weight loss plans out there. But, how about a weight loss plan that'll be there for you every step of the way? How about a weight loss plan that'll give you a personalized plan just for you, your health, your goals, your needs? I got my own nutrition plan that was designed for a busy dad who was a food critic. Maybe you need that sort of nutrition coaching. Maybe you need medical weight management or GLP-1 support. What you're going to get is way more than just a prescription or a nutrition plan. You're going to get guidance. You're going to get accountability. You're going to get a team that will walk with you every step of the way and help you achieve lasting results. It starts with the call, 855-GO-LIVIA. When you make that call, set up an appointment for a free metabolic health assessment. That is a lot of words, but it's really about a conversation designed to achieve your goals. Get you to what you've always dreamed of. You can do it. I did it, and I've kept that weight off for almost 4 years now. Get to Livea.com, Livea.com. Start on that journey. If you've been waiting for the right time to lose weight, the time is now.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The time to be outdoors is now. The weather is just lovely. It's Vanita here. Make your backyard a place you'll love spending time in with By the Yard's beautiful maintenance-free outdoor furniture, built to withstand the elements and designed for comfortable outdoor living. It is so fantastic to sit and relax in By the Yard furniture. Visit a showroom today and experience it for yourself. By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission: to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/radio. That's legacybox.com/radio.
Jason DeRusha.
Just because he thinks he has a louder voice does not always make him right.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Would a boy like you, like a girl like me? It doesn't matter if we don't know where this leads. Would a boy like you, like a
Anybody who is trying to better themselves and turn their life around, I am all in on trying to make sure we support people, we provide services, we provide a pathway to turn things around. But I have become more and more convinced that the people who are living in encampments are not interested in that pathway. They want to live life the way they want to live it. And we're all supposed to just roll over and, oh, wow. We better give them more time. Today, activists were mad at the city of St. Paul for cleaning an encampment. Why not give them another 30 days? Why not another 60? Well, why not another 4,760 days? What's going to change? Nothing. Winter comes. People tend to want to get out of the encampments, but even that has changed. You do not have a right to live on the streets. You don't. And you don't have a right for society to provide you an apartment. You do have a right to get help when you're trying to turn things around. Now, I do think the way that we deal with homeless people in our society is ridiculous. I think it is very troubling that as a society, as a state, as a country, we essentially do nothing. We rely on nonprofits. We rely on often religiously affiliated nonprofits to do this work. And for people who don't want to go down that path, then it becomes all the things that they don't want to do. I don't want to stop doing drugs. I don't want to be in a men's only or women's only dormitory. I don't want to be. Well, too bad. Too bad. You don't get to take over our cities and our state by camping out wherever you want. When I go to get on the highway off of Franklin in Minneapolis, there are all these people who are living there. And it is, if you lived in that neighborhood, how would you feel? Getting on the highway, it's nerve-wracking. You got people walking all over the place. Then you have neighborhoods where you have this going on, open drug use. Oh, I don't want to stop doing drugs, so I'm not going to go into a... What? Now, today they swept up one camp. Tom is in Edina. The fear is that people are just moving to another camp. So what are we going to do if we're just going to keep moving them around? But at a certain point, Tom, I think like making things difficult or challenging or uncomfortable such that the better option is to just suck it up and go into one of these shelters. To me, that's more appealing. What says you?
Well, good afternoon, by the way. So many years ago in Las Vegas, they gave, I don't know, let's just say $100 to each homeless person, loaded them up in a bus, and they hauled them all to Arizona. Now, this went on for a couple of years where they'd keep going back and forth and back and forth. Nobody wanted help. All they wanted to do was keep moving them back and forth. So when you say to move to one camp to the next, that's pretty much what happens.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Lots of texts coming in. Jason, I agree with you. Get it together. Why can't say three of them get together, rent a place, and figure it out like the rest of us had to do? No, I'm not being absurd here. I understand that most of the people who are living on the streets are unemployed, have mental health challenges, have addiction challenges. That's the issue. And so a texter points out that there's also an issue with homeless people who have pets. I'm sorry, man. Like, you don't have a place to live, and we're supposed to be worried about, like, oh, where's your dog going to go? Like, take the dog to the shelter and get a house, get an apartment, get in a bed. This idea that we're supposed to, like, bend over to handle everything that everybody wants, I don't get it. I don't get it. Texter says, Jason, according to the National Alliance to End Homelessness, 40% of those unsheltered were employed. Yes. Is that what we're dealing with when we're living in an encampment? I mean, I think it's a different level of the homeless, of the unhoused, however you want to describe it. Texter says, what would you like to do with people who don't or can't want to live off the streets? That is an excellent question. What do I want to see done with them? I think at a certain point, I would like to see people arrested who are violating laws. I would like to see, I mean, obviously, after you've done all the outreach, after you've tried to convince people like, hey, you should go to a shelter. This work has been going on for years. Years. What do we think is going to happen if we wait another 30 days? I think we're dealing with people who just are not going to take part in the shelter system, by and large. Tom's in St. Paul. Tom, your town, they're cleaning it up. Your thoughts on what's going on today?
Well, I'm going to have a really interesting perspective. So I own 1,000 rental units in St. Paul, manage an additional 2,000 units for others. So we deal with a lot of tenants.
Sure.
But here's the issue too. The homeless, they break into our buildings nonstop. And I think you should.
Oh, did we lose Tom there? Tom, you still there? You cut out a little bit.
Yep. I think you should be in politics because enough is enough. People have to figure things out. They have to, whether it's more mental health resources or drug rehab or whatever, they can't just have these encampments and move it to another encampment because then they're busting into my buildings off University or on the east side and they're using they're peeing in the bath or the laundry rooms and sleeping in the laundry rooms. Summer's easy. Winter, it's a whole nother ballgame. It's way worse when you get these people trying to get heat in common area hallways and in buildings. And I don't know what the answer is. I mean, all this money Minnesota has wasted on, fraud and all that stuff. It's too bad they couldn't build some sort of huge facility that would educate or help these people get off drugs, alcohol. Because I think you're right. Most of it, yes, there's people that have jobs, but most of the people that are living in these encampments, they're either addicted to drugs or alcohol, and those are the ones we have the problems with in our common area buildings. And St. Paul police hands are tied. All they do is they come, they move them out, move them along, and there's no repercussions to it.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Tom, in that I'm not 100% sure what the solution is, right? You sort of feel like you wish we bought like a hotel as a county.
Yep.
And the problem is you've got these same like people who don't want to stop doing drugs. And how do you make that work? I don't know.
And let me tell you something. When we've had, we work with agencies, and sometimes we get the people that come off the street and they may still be on drugs and alcohol, and we put them in our units, and it's a disaster.
Yeah.
They end up causing problems for other tenants that just want to live there and be quiet and go about their daily life and work. And then you get these people that their rent's paid in full, and it's a tough deal. I mean, I'm not trying to sound cruel, but something has to obviously be done. And I don't know what the answer is. I've been doing this for 30 years, and it's getting worse, not better, in St. Paul.
Yeah, and that's why I feel, thank you, Tom, I feel like the empathetic, give it time, try to convince people to go to stuff. We've been doing that for 4 years, and it's getting worse. Tom says it's getting worse. So maybe it's time to go back to zero tolerance. Betty's in St. Paul. I just feel like it's not working, Betty. I'm glad that they're clearing this encampment, but I am worried that folks are just moving to another one. What do you think about all of it?
Yeah, and actually it's Debbie with a D.
Debbie. Sorry about that. Thanks,
no, that's
Debbie.
Okay. It sounds like No, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
How many homeless people do you know?
Well, what is that? Like, how many homeless people have I met over the years? Like, lots.
Well, that you talk to, that you might have a relationship with.
Zero. How many do you know?
Hundreds.
And what do you think the solution is?
I don't. If I had a solution, I wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Yeah.
because, but I'm just.
What
saying,
have you learned from those interactions that you think would be useful for me to know and for our listeners to know?
That all people deserve to be loved, to be acknowledged, to be able to have a roof over their heads. And you were talking before too about, people's pets. Jason, I volunteer at Listening House. It's a day shelter, right where the old Red Savoy Pizza used to be, kind of by the, yeah. And there was one night when I saw a man lying on our floor, sleeping in the hallway, and he had his arms around his dog. And I'm guessing that's all he had in the world. And you're a dog lover.
Yep.
You've had dogs.
Yep.
And so how do we, would I want to take that? You can't be here unless we have to figure this out. That poor man, if someone took away what was most dear to me, how can you justify that?
But the question,
so,
Debbie, is then,
yes.
is whether people who are not homeless, people who live in the vicinity of where people are camping out or people, whatever the case may be, what do they have to give up in exchange for someone who isn't willing to give up their pet? Is it the safety, the peace of mind, the neighborhood, all those sorts of things?
But see, that's why they had the pig's eye thing going too, because that wasn't
It's sort of out of the way. Yeah.
It's out of the way. And so that's where they moved everybody to. And now they're clearing everybody out. And I don't, if I had a grand solution, boy.
I know it's super hard. In the early day, I used to do work with a homeless shelter in downtown Minneapolis, people serving people.
Okay.
And one of our challenges was convincing people to understand that homelessness was a problem in our community because it was out of sight. And today the problem is the flip, where you still have the out of sight, the couch surfing homelessness, the families who are on the edge, paycheck to paycheck. But then we also have this sort of in your face, that scenario. And I don't know. I am concerned that the compassionate approach we've been trying for the last 4 years hasn't gotten us anywhere. And it's not necessarily moving people to housing either. So what are we doing?
Right. And again, Jason, I hear what you're saying. I mean, it is, again, if I had an answer.
I know.
I don't think anyone does have a good one. And so, but I would even invite you to come visit. You live in St. Paul. Come visit Listening House sometime. We are open like 6 days a week from 2 to 8. And our hours can vary because in the winter we're open till 10 at night because the shelters don't open till 10, and people have to have a place if it's 30 below to get inside.
Thanks.
And so I would encourage you to come.
Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Debbie.
welcome.
Yeah, appreciate the call. That's Debbie. And Karen texted with the same sort of thing. Rather than judging the encampment, why don't you do some volunteer work with the homeless? You'll understand better and have some compassion. Like, I understand that reaction, and you heard from Debbie. Like, at a certain point, something has to change. And I do think part of the change needs to be more investment from the state and the county to give people a place to go. But letting people camp out on the streets, that's not it. I mean, I don't need to go volunteer to figure out that is a bad idea because it's failed. We'll break in a minute. Tracy Perlman joins us. We're going to talk about Twins baseball and the payroll. Owner of the Twins was on with Chad earlier today. I want to play a little bit of that and get Tracy's reaction, yours too, when we come back on Drive Time.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Lisa Damuth, a Republican who delivers results.
And I led the charge in rooting out billions in fraud and waste.
To stop the fraud, you need a governor who won't back down. Lisa Damuth gets the job done. Lisa Damuth understands to make Minnesota affordable again, we must fight fraud. Lisa Damuth knows to create good-paying jobs for Americans, we must stop payments to illegal aliens.
I led the way to end taxpayer funding of health care for illegal immigrants.
In the legislature, Republican Lisa Damuth fought the fraudsters. Now, Lisa Damuth's running for governor.
Let's start our Minnesota comeback right here and right now.
America's PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by America's PAC and not authorized by any other candidate or committee. AmericasPAC527.com.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to
Hi, Tracy.
goals.
Hello.
To build a comprehensive
How goes?
grow and protect
Thriving.
your
How are you?
wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze
Couldn't be better if I tried.
even
Great.
the ones they don't manage to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250. Say Mike Rowe and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250. Say Mike Rowe and let the savings begin.
Summer's not over yet, and Launchpad Golf, the Meadows, is where I'm finishing it strong. It's Jason DeRusha. Launchpad Golf in Prior Lake, right across from Mystic Lake Casino Hotel. It's more than a golf entertainment venue. Come for dinner. Try some of my favorites like the Truffle Bison Burger, Wild-Caught Salmon. Plus, how about this deal? The Summer Players Card. It's just $199. Golf in a suite any weekday with 5 guests. 2 visits. Your new weekday hangout pays for itself. Book tonight at launchpadgolf.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
35W northbound in Arden Hills still has a wreck on the shoulder there between County Road H and Highway 10. 494 eastbound has traffic stopped between East Bush Lake Road and Portland Avenue. That's a hard stop, not just a slowdown, so be ready to sit for a while if you're headed that way. They're still working on the 2 cars up on 610 westbound in Brooklyn Park on the shoulder between Noble and Regent Avenue. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
I love this time of year, and so do your Minnesota pork farmers. Pork turns up the flavor at every backyard hang. TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com has recipes galore. Get to the butcher shop and grocery store and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Oh, yeah. Minnesota pork bringing us the weather forecast from Chris Schaefer.
Another nice night tonight. 61 will be the overnight low with a partly cloudy sky. The wind is going to pick up tomorrow from the southwest, and that's going to pump in some milder air. 84 tomorrow for the afternoon high, around 83 on Friday. We could see a few isolated showers Friday, and it looks like it stays warm right through the weekend with highs in the mid-80s.
It is 80 degrees in downtown Minneapolis. Just lovely summer day here on CCO.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Yes, so crazy right now. Most incredibly, it's your girl,
Tracy Perlman is with us. She is live on our video stream at YouTube, WCCO radio channel. Tracy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'll tell you, last week, the Oprah segment that we did numbers, as the kids say, on social media. So
well, you're welcome.
Yeah. People agreed with you that the dang kids need to suck it up in their 20s.
Yeah. You got to work hard so you can enjoy it later.
We are today in that sort of point of summer where you think, like, is it almost over? Are you one of those? Is it like, oh, the state fair's around the corner, then it's fall, then it's winter, then we're done?
No, we are in State Fair month. However, it's really nice out today. Get outside. Bring your headphones, bring your earbuds, go outside, listen to Jason and Dan. It's gorgeous out today. And I don't feel threatened that summer's almost over. I think our seasons, thank you, global warming, are shifting. And I think we're going to have a later summer, longer into fall.
Oh. Well, I always come to you for sort of climate knowledge.
I know. And the pulse on the youth's working abilities. Glad I can help.
Do you have a number one, like, favorite spot to go for a walk? When you're enjoying, like, the beautiful weather, like, is there a spot that you love?
Yeah, so I live on the west side of town. I love downtown Wayzata. They built this nice boardwalk that goes all along the lake and Lake Minnetonka. It's beautiful. It's well maintained. It's lit nice. You can jump onto, there's like some bike paths that take you out to Lake Orono that are pretty shaded. So I really like that area.
The like the lake walk thing that
Mhm.
they have, it's really cool.
It's
It is
great.
it's sort of surprising it took Wayzata that long to build. Like it's sort of like you cross the railroad tracks by Cove,
Yep.
and then you can walk from downtown to Sixth Smith. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
It's great. The sidewalk is nice too, but I think this is such a nice asset when the weather's nice.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I saw that coming too.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun of watching the video stream. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no off button.
I don't have a sneeze button. Sorry,
Yeah,
Dan.
It's too bad. This weekend, we went walking around Lake of the Isles
Mhm.
because usually I'll do the Bidet Makaska walk, which is a good walk. It's like probably 2.5 miles all the way
I think
around.
it's 3.
Is
I think
it 3?
it's almost a 5K. Yeah.
We did Lake of the Isles this weekend, and it's a little, I don't know why it hits different to do like a long, windy lake instead of the round
Because
lake.
you don't have your bearings. I used to walk that lake a lot. And it's very, like, you do the long finger point, and then you're like,
Yes.
I must be done. And you're like, no, you still have 2/3 to go.
Right. And I got almost all the way around it, turned off into the neighborhood, and I said to my wife, because we were wearing, like, she was wearing sandals. I was wearing, like, we were not wearing appropriate footwear for this. But I'm like, we made it. And then we walked 2 blocks, and I'm like, we did not make it.
Now, have you seen the Uptown Art Fair has moved from Lake in Hennepin to now over by Lake of the Isles?
I
by
did
where the
see
dog
that.
Park is.
This Friday afternoon and evening, Saturday, Sunday. What do you think about that?
I'm not, listen, I might be prematurely judging. I don't
Okay.
think I like it. I think it's going to be tougher to park, tougher to get in and out. I know they're offering Metro Transit. That's not going to be a good option for me because of other plans I have. A
There's
shuttle.
like the shuttle from from the Seven Corners parking ramp.
Yeah, not into that. I don't.
You're anti-transit? You're anti-shuttle? Like, what is
I am
happening
because I wanted to bring my dog so I could take her on part of the walk. So I'm not going to be able to shuttle her.
These dog owners.
Parking
We
in
got the
those
homeless
neighborhoods-
people who are like, I'm not going to go into a shelter because of a dog. Tracy's not taking the bus because of
The dog.
Are we too dog centric?
Maybe, but you know what? That's how I want to spend my time outside. And I love art fairs. I have a ton of art at my house from art fairs. Listen to me. I'm like, I know art fairs.
Sure.
It's not.
Art
where it
fairs
is
and
now
climate
is just
change
not-
are sort of your wheelhouse, right?
They are. I know many artisanal people. I just don't, it's just not going to work for like what I have planned the rest of the day.
Right.
Because I can't pop in and pop out as easily. I think it's just going to be tougher to get to.
All right.
I'm curious what people who live in the neighborhoods are also thinking, because that's a lot of
they're
people. with
complaining.
two-
Those people, you live by the lake. You are the whiniest people in the world, right? The people who live by the lakes in Minneapolis, you have the nicest houses and the most complaints.
I'm not arguing.
I mean, I'm jealous. I'm just saying.
You live by the river.
Yeah, well, I got plenty of complaints too. I have 3 hours. That's what we do here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stay right there. In a minute, we're going to talk about twins and payroll and what Tom Pohlad had to say with Chad. You were a twins blogger for a number of years, plus your ideal sleep temperature. What do you set the thermostat at to really have a great night's sleep? We'll talk about that with Tracy when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
You know those moments in life, the uh-oh moments. Maybe it's a drain that backs up, a toilet that just keeps running, or a drip, drip, drip of a faucet. Or even worse, maybe you plug something into one of those outlets in the kitchen. We have an outlet we plug stuff into, and you hear that pop or you hear that buzz, and you think, oh, no. Oh, no. When you think, oh, no, I want you to immediately think, call Randy's. CallRandys.com is the website. Randy's Electric and Plumbing has been helping homeowners in the Twin Cities handle the stressful stuff for more than 2 decades. Based in Maple Grove, but they're all over the metro taking care of electrical repairs, panel upgrades, rewiring. They're fixing plumbing. They're doing sewer, drain, sump pump, water heater, water softener. If you've got an oh no, Randy's has a solution for you. Licensed professionals. They show up prepared. They explain your options clearly. Isn't this nice? You get honest pricing before the work begins, and they're going to text you and let you know when your technician's on the way, so there's no uncertainty in your life. Oh no is no fun. But don't panic when that oh no moment hits. Call my team. Call Randy's Electric and Plumbing.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Your mortgage is probably your biggest bill each month. Imagine having to pay it twice. It can happen if you buy a new home before you sell your current one. You need a real estate agent who knows how to find buyers fast. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, know how to get the job done. Nate and Keisha were worried after their house sat on the market for more than half a year with a different agent. They had bought a new home before their previous one sold, and they felt stuck. They've been hearing me tell you about the Good Neighbor agent and knew they had to call John themselves. John's marketing system reaches thousands of potential home buyers every day. It helps him routinely sell houses fast and for the most money possible. John's marketing system found them a buyer in just a week. It sold for full asking price. They were so happy. Curious what your home is worth? Just type in your address, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
35E is dragging in both directions from 94 all the way up to Highway 36. 494 northbound has a wreck at the Fish Lake interchange, backing things up in both directions, so be prepared over there. Traffic's backing up heading into Minneapolis on 35W and through downtown on 94 from the tunnel over to 280, so plan some extra time whichever way you're going in that area. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
I've got some trees to be trimmed. I got to give B&M Tree Service a call. They bring us Chris Schaefer's forecast tonight, 61. Another good night to have the windows open. Tomorrow, 84 is the high. The wind starts to pick up. Friday, isolated showers possible. Doesn't look like a big deal, but the humidity started to creep up over the weekend. Right now, it's 80 on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
I'm dropping bombs of genius every day on this show.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minnesota Twins ownership kept their word. They said they were going to be buyers. They said they were hoping to have meaningful baseball. That's what Tom Pohlad told me, told Chad, told the fans. And today he was on with Chad talking about the fact that at the trade deadline, the team did not sell off. The band is still together. And I want to play a little bit of this for you, Tracy, because the Twins still, we're not going to throw a parade for them. The payroll is not massive all of a sudden. But I do think it's worth calling out the fact that, at least from my standpoint, they did what they said they were going to do.
I think that what you can count on is further investment in this team. I've talked about endlessly what we want to accomplish, which is consistently playing in the playoffs and be able to go deep in the playoffs. And a $100 million payroll or a $110 million payroll is not going to get the job done. And so I would imagine that you're going to see meaningful investment next year and beyond.
That's a pretty big promise, right? Don't you think? That was with Chad just in the last 2 hours, and you can get that wherever you get podcasts. Just search for Chad Hartman Show. But I don't know. I like hearing that.
Yeah, I'm curious what a meaningful investment is.
I mean, you get the sense that, he gets that payroll has to be more than 120.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they need a $300 million overhaul.
Right.
But, right now, waiting for attendance to recover, they need to make money at the end of the day. They are a business, right? So I just think right now you don't have the fan interest. So you have to win. You have to regain that trust, and then you'll get that. But the AL Central is available right now. We're 3.5 games back. Dan, fact check me here. Behind Chicago, I think 3.5. And meaningful upgrades.
That 8-2 loss didn't help so much last night.
Yeah, Randy Dobnak, come on.
Who knew?
Joe Ryan.
Well,
and then Joe Ryan.
Joe Ryan's my much bigger
tough,
concern at this point. They're 4 back right now.
4 back.
Okay. So.
But they're in it.
Yeah, they're in it. And we could take it. However, they need to make some meaningful changes. And, it's to me, it's what are you spending that money on? You don't want to just put money into players. You also don't want to just completely moneyball it and hope that you can get people who can get on base or throw some pitches. So what is that exact combination going to be? And the Twins have a hard time keeping talent. So I think that's also part of the culture of the locker room.
I think, he's obviously, you can't, if you're Tom Pohlad right now, say, well, the payroll is going to be $150 million next year or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to have a lockout, and who knows what the economic structure is going to be coming out of that, if there's even going to be a 2027 season. So it'd be foolish for him to try to commit to a number right now. I sort of shrug my shoulders to a degree and say, well, what else can he say other than we're going to try and invest more in this team? I can't give you the number right now because there's too many question marks, but this is our intention. And so, yeah, he's still got to show it. You're 100% right. He's still got to actually do the stuff because, words are wind after a point. But what they did, at least in this trade deadline situation, relative to what they did last year, is moving in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not going to get a trophy for not trading away the team like they did last year. But I do think also it would have been reckless from a money spending standpoint to start this season by spending a ton of money when you had a team that you knew was, well, we don't know how good these guys are going to be. Do you put all the chips in when you don't quite have the goods yet? That would have been stupid also, I think.
Right. I think some of that investment may not be strict monetary. I don't need you to spend a lot of money, but I need you to be strategic about what it is that you're investing in. If you look at the 2019 Twins with Nelson Cruz, right? One strong veteran, bolstered the Bomba squad. They made it into the playoffs. They had 101 wins that season. So like we needed that. Kansas City in the last couple of years has bumped up their core of young players, and suddenly they were up in the winning and contention. So I just think there's a way to do that in a way that doesn't just throw money at the problem, because you can't pay a contract for 2 seasons and expect everything to change.
Tom Pohlad did also say that he thinks the players this season deserve fans to come out to the ballpark.
I think that what you can count on is, I guess what I hope coming out of the trade deadline is that that fans sense a small level of that they're starting to feel that I, and on behalf of this family, that we are as committed to this franchise as we actually are, and I hope that they come out for this team.
Yeah, and look, I think he also in the interview was realistic that you have to win. You have to win more. But I do think this year's team has been fun to watch. They've overperformed, and I get this is the hard part of this, because throughout professional sports, you see owners just spending without regard for what attendance is or any of that. And so here you have owners who are saying, look, we're a mid-market team. We don't have the big TV revenue. So, we're going to need some butts and seats to get some money and get some revenue to dump back into the team.
Yeah, we got to sell beer and hot dogs, right? And that's important. I do think the Target Field game experience is fantastic. To sit outside on a night like tonight is beautiful. The team is good. It is fun to watch for most games.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, you want to go and watch a winning team. You want players to cheer for. And if you don't know who the players are,
good point.
Hard to pick a player.
Helps that they kept the band together. I think that helps a bit, but we'll see in these next couple months. Tracy, thank you. This was fun. Continental Diamond time check right now is 3:58. It's time to get over to continentaldiamond.com. Check out their amazing selection of pre-owned watches, and if you've got a watch you want to sell, get to Continental.
If you don't trust them a little, then come right back.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
We're talking construction law today with Blake Nelson, an attorney from Helmuth & Johnson. Blake, why is having the right legal support so important?
One delay, one payment issue, or one contract mistake can put an entire project at risk and be the difference between making and losing money. In Minnesota, contract terms, timing, and documentation matter.
How does Helmuth & Johnson help?
We help contractors, subcontractors, and property owners protect their rights, get paid, and keep projects moving.
Learn more at hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side, for all your construction law needs.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
News Talk 830 WCCO, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. Ongoing hostilities between the U.S. and Iran continue to impact the Strait of Hormuz ship traffic. President Trump says a deal to reopen the strait could come this week, but Iranian officials say they're in talks to finalize a joint agreement with Oman. It comes as sources tell ABC News Iran remains the prime suspect in cyber attacks across multiple states. ABC's Aaron Katursky has the latest.
Iran is the prime suspect because we're at war with Iran, and Iran may be trying to make clear it has the capacity to retaliate if President Trump escalates the war, as he's considered doing. Iran cannot match the U.S. military, but they are making clear that they can take aim at critical infrastructure and systems that Americans depend on every day.
President Trump is in Las Vegas today to highlight tax cuts for working families. Some Vegas hospitality workers say that they're getting squeezed by a tourism slowdown and blame the war in Iran and Trump-era tariffs. Results for the closely watched Senate Democratic race in Michigan are in. ABC News projects progressive newcomer Dr. Abdul El Sayed will have a narrow victory against moderate Representative Haley Stevens. El Sayed took a victory lap today.
I just can't say how grateful I am to have earned the votes that we got. We took on a machine.
The seat, vacated by Democratic Senator Gary Peters, is a must-win seat for Democrats. In Washington state, a change in the weather is giving firefighters a bit of a break as they battle wildfires. Smoke remains a concern for some residents. ABC meteorologist Samara Theodore has details.
We are anticipating some of the heaviest extreme wildfire smoke to be situated just north of Spokane. And then this does make its way, meandering all the way south into Utah. Richfield, Utah, seeing some very heavy smoke as well. So smoke is a real issue out there.
A suspected arsonist behind the Old Trails fire remains in custody and is facing charges. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly sunny, 79 degrees at 4:02. I'm Laura Oakes. Authorities say human remains believed to be that of a missing Twin Cities man have been found in northwestern Wisconsin.
Douglas County authorities say personal items found with the body indicate that it is that of 89-year-old Edward Hanton of Mendota Heights. Hanton went missing in late July after family members said he may have been heading to Superior or a family cabin near Amnicon Lake. His car was found in the area a few weeks ago. The investigation continues. Susie Jones, News Talk 830 WCCO.
The relocation of dozens from a large homeless encampment on St. Paul's east side continues this hour, some figuring out their next move.
We can't stay here. They'll arrest us tomorrow, I think, the other camp. And then they'll close that in a month, and then we'll find something else.
Others saying a shelter situation simply won't work for them.
I would, but the only problem is my dog. None of them will accept the dog, you know? I'm not getting rid of my dog. It's like my kid, you know?
And the many volunteers helping residents sort their belongings, answer questions, and listen. Noah Joyce Anderson is with Veterans for Peace.
I think it's less about telling them anything and more about listening, right? That's what the city didn't do. That's what the mayor didn't do. And so if someone's not ready to go, okay, we're going to try to nudge that conversation along to, what are you ready for? Can we help you pack?
He says it's been a difficult day for everyone, including the volunteers. An 11-year-old boy taken into custody in St. Cloud after he allegedly stabbed an 18-year-old multiple times. Investigators say it happened inside a vestibule at a business yesterday. The victim taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police believe it was a random attack, but the motive isn't clear. They're talking to the boy's family. At Farm Fest today in Redwood Falls, a Minnesota governor's race candidate forum on the issue of tackling the fraud that has been plaguing state programs. Democratic U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar says it's at the top of her list.
The minute I get in there, I will launch a top-to-bottom audit of state government. I will root out the fraud. I'm going to make sure that we're vetting all the contracts.
Republican-endorsed gubernatorial candidate Kendall Qualls.
We have mega spending bills that funded the fraud programs. No more mega spending bills.
Republican House Speaker Lisa Dameth.
The explosive fraud in Minnesota is a direct result of incompetent Democrat control in this state for more than 16 years.
And businessman Mike Lindell.
Fraud is the biggest blessing our state's ever had because it's opened our eyes to get rid of the current government we have.
All three Republican candidates are participating in next week's primary election. USA Today readers choosing the Minnesota State Fair as the best in the country. The paper noting how widely attended our fair is and its economic impact on the Twin Cities and surrounding areas. The Minnesota State Fair draws nearly 2 million visitors each year. WCCO News Times, 4:05.
The Duke's Country Song. It's a song about good mayo, Duke's mayo. It'll make any dish sing. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is brought to you by Duke's Real Mail. 694 is tight from County Road 51 over to 94 in both directions. Things are crawling up there with some sections completely stopped. 494 northbound has a wreck at the Fish Lake interchange, backing things up in both directions. 2 cars on the side of the road there. Highway helper is on scene. Backup starts at Schmidt Lake Road. Be prepared if you're on Crosstown eastbound. It's stop and go between Gleason Road and Xerxes, but that's pretty normal for this time of day. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren K. Meyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
The time to enjoy your outdoor space is now. At By the Yard, you'll find beautiful maintenance-free outdoor furniture built for the way you live. Visit a By the Yard showroom and see why life is better outdoors.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by the Yard. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
It's another windows open, comfortable kind of night tonight. Partly cloudy as we fall back to 61. We'll be partly cloudy tomorrow as well. It should be warmer with a high of 84. The wind is going to pick up. Coming from the southwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. A few isolated showers are possible on Friday. Most of us will stay dry.
Mostly sunny right now, 79 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hey, whether it's global or local, stay in the know on your mobile. The Odyssey app for News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
Well, you heard some of the clips in Laura Oak's newscast at the top of the hour. The governor candidates, I love this. The governor candidates all on the same stage. Democrats, Republicans. This about 6 days before voters officially, and we can barely say this anymore, the voters go to the polls because election day is more like election 2 months in Minnesota, and people have been voting for a long time. Blois Olson joins us thanks to Compeer Financial from Farm Fest, where he moderated the forum today. Blois, are you in a combine? What's going on out there at Farm Fest?
Well, I'm actually back, but I was on the combine. A lot of drones at Farm Fest. I think I'm going to become a drone pilot.
Why are there? What's with the drones? What's going on?
Spray crops, evaluate crops.
Oh.
Their GIS program.
Yeah.
John Deere has technology that identifies a weed versus a plant and only sprays the weed.
Whoa. That's pretty. Yeah. That's cool. That is cool stuff.
I knew you would like that.
I do. It is amazing how farming today, and one of the things you certainly learn at Farm Fest, but if you just spend time talking to farmers, is how much technology is involved, how much business school acumen is involved. I mean, this isn't sort of like, the piece of hay in between the teeth sort of situation these days.
No, it's very high tech, more efficient. Tractors kind of drive themselves.
Yeah.
And, you still have to man them, but I don't think we're that far from unmanned planting and unmanned harvesting. So there you go.
Blois was moderating this discussion with the gubernatorial candidates. There were a bunch of Republicans on stage and Amy Klobuchar. And I'm curious from you, did anyone stand out as a winner or a loser today?
Not necessarily any big winners. I thought it was an interesting, the Republicans didn't take any shots at each other. And I would think that if they're thinking it's a close race, they would want to differentiate themselves. And if you look at, the Democratic Senate primary, they're clearly going after each other. The Senate Republican primary, they're going after each other. The Republicans for governor did not go after each other. And I thought they just needed a chance to differentiate themselves. and none of them did it. I would say Mike Lindell talked a lot about his budget that's apparently coming out tomorrow. He's going to eliminate income tax. He's going to lower property taxes, and we're going to have direct primary care in our health system.
Who's paying for that?
Well, that's what we're waiting for tomorrow, Jason. That's my tease. I don't know the details, but maybe we'll have it in morning take. But no, that was his message. On policy stuff, Senator Klobuchar clearly knows her stuff. And towards the end of the forum, Senator Klobuchar really started to focus in on tariffs and cost of inputs and Medicaid funding in rural hospitals. And she just kept saying, these three people will stand up to what's wrong with Washington. And I've had to do that with this administration against the tariffs, et cetera, which was her way of running against Trump, but not saying his name.
Yeah. Right, because it's an unfriendly crowd for you. Farm country and farmers generally have been walking that line, right, where they know that tariffs have been terrible for Minnesota farmers, but yet they also tend to be Trump voters. So trying to balance that out has been a challenge in the farming world, right?
Yeah, but they are resilient, but they are not forever forgiving, and they're going to be.
Yeah, that's right.
This economy, I think you're going to start to see the Trump support and the Republican support soften. We also don't see Republican enthusiasm in Minnesota when Trump's not on the ballot. They drop off by 300,000, 400,000 votes in the general election. And so Republicans' challenge is to try to keep that enthusiasm going, and that's what I think Lindell is hoping to do. But, on the Republican side, depending on turnout levels, this is kind of anybody's race. I think if it's a low turnout race, I think it's, Qualls has the advantage. I think if it's a medium turnout race, Lindell has the advantage. And I think if it's a high turnout race, then Lisa Damas has the advantage.
I will confess, I am very surprised at how low-key Lisa Damas has been on the campaign trail. And I get it. Like, you don't want to alienate Republicans who might be inclined to support you in the general. But, she's not going to get to the general if she doesn't make a compelling case as to why she's better than Kendall Qualls, or especially Mike Lindell didn't sound crazy today. I think the rip on Mike Lindell is man, this guy's obsessed with election security. He did talk about that again. But Lisa Damas, is she making a case? Is she making a closing argument?
Here's what I'd say, Jason. She is herself. And she is just not that bombastic, argumentative type. And that's just the reality of who she is. And so I would look at it this way. She's being authentic to who she is, and she doesn't want to be somebody she's not just to win. On the other hand, there doesn't seem to be that instinct to go for it. And if you're going to put yourself through this, you're going to raise all this money, you got to do something that really, puts you out there in a way that's more, how do I say it, more differentiated. I mean, contrast. You have to contrast yourself. Qualls doesn't have any money. Lindell's got a lot of name ID. What do you have? You have a lot of money, and you're arguably one of the top 3 or 4 leaders of the party at being Speaker of the House as a Republican. You got to stand out and look like you're ready to be governor of the state.
Listening to Amy Klobuchar, I thought the first half of the conversation, she sounded too senator-like, too much conversation about Senator so-and-so and I did this, or we talked about that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're running for governor, not for senator. And she kind of got it back on the rails as the thing went along.
It's funny you say that, because I have moments when I'm there that I make notes to myself. And I saw in the second half of it, and I asked her team about it. They didn't really answer. I said, she clearly pivoted to be different in the second half. And I don't know, but the first question of the second half of the debate was about fraud. And I think that triggered all of them to have a really sharp answer. it's also when the barn started to turn. And there were probably, I don't know, there's probably 2,000 to 3,000 people in the barn today watching. So
Here is Amy Klobuchar's response to the question about fraud, which I think this answer is why if you're a Republican, you're thinking we don't have a shot in this deal.
The minute I get in there, I will launch a top-to-bottom audit of state government. I will root out the fraud. I'm going to make sure that we're vetting all the contracts.
I mean, she is clean. I know Republicans will try to link her to fraud, but she's clean. And the ability to not worry about upsetting the Walls world with criticism, like, it makes her pretty tough, I think.
Well, it does and it doesn't, because the reality is, you know, we came out with numbers a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and fraud is 3 to 1 more important than healthcare in the state of Minnesota as the biggest problem facing our state. And by the way, we didn't even use the word fraud when we tested this, and the Minnesota Chamber tested it. It was fiscal mismanagement of state finances. And so,
well, that could be overspending too, right? That's the $18 billion.
No, but that's so if you start there at 40, and then so look, I agree she's not as vulnerable on fraud.
Yeah. I mean, Royce White got 40% against Amy Klobuchar. I mean, this is the world we're in right now, right?
Correct. No, correct. I'm not saying, she can fight back on it. I'm saying it's going to take a lot more than an answer at Farm Fest to convince 40% of people you're actually going to do something about it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're not. I mean, my point is that Minnesota is pretty much 40% are going to punch the Republican button no matter what if they voted for Royce White over Amy Klobuchar last time around. So to me, that says you're still, even today, I would expect no matter who the Republican is, you start with 40 and you try to see if you can get 6 or 7 more.
Remember this, Jason. That was a presidential gift.
Yeah, fair. Very good point. So you had the excitement. You had the Trump voters there already.
You had the Trump voters there. And Republicans haven't been able to do that in midterms since 2016.
Interesting. Blois, you did a good job today with the forum. I thought it was really interesting. You could see the whole thing online if you want to listen to the answers. Obviously talking more of issues that were interest to farmers. You can see which candidates today wanted to pretend that they knew about farming. Some were cosplaying a little farmer a bit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Mike Lindell, full suit, not even pretending that he knew anything really about farming, I thought. Same with Kendall Qualls.
He worked on his uncle's farm.
You know, I've been to a farm once. I picked apples in, at Amit's apple farm. Does that count? No, it does not. Thank you, Blois. Blois Olson.
All right.
And we thank Compure Financial for supporting our coverage from Farm Fest. You're welcome to weigh in here. We're 6 days until primary day. Are you going to vote? I think I'm going to vote, but I still haven't decided. I want my vote to count. So I'm either going to go Republican to vote in the governor's race or Democrat to vote in the Senate race. So I'm a pretend Republican or pretend Democrat, but those are the two races I really care about. 651-461-9226. Drive time back in a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Tell you what, when Blois is talking about farming and talking about technology and drones and satellites, you know your Minnesota pork farmers are using all of that technology, trying to do their best to take care of the environment, make sure they're using our natural resources, take care of their animals, and take care of their people. TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com. That is the big goal of every family farmer all over this state, 3,000 family farmers. What are they worried about? They're worried about your family. Providing lean, high-protein, delicious, versatile Minnesota pork so you can have a great, nutritious, filling, healthy dinner for you and your family. If you go to TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com, you'll find all sorts of recipe inspiration. because sometimes we all get a little stuck, don't we? I love this maple pork burger with apple slaw. This is a 15-minute dinner time recipe. How about brown sugar pork burger with bacon onion jam? Yeah, I've got the grill on the mind tonight. You have a little more time. Maybe you're doing tangy grilled back ribs, a little bit of citrus in there. Why not? Go check out the website, tastewhatporkcando.com. But get to the grocery store or butcher shop. Go there tonight and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner. Oh, yeah.
You know when your air conditioner chooses the hottest day of the year to quit? Yeah, that's exactly what a proper tune-up helps prevent. At Metro Heating and Cooling, our complete professional AC tune-up is just $109 because we do more than the bargain guys. We inspect the system, test performance, clean critical components, and catch small problems before they turn into expensive breakdowns. So before the heat really hits, protect your comfort, your wallet, and your family. Call 214-304-7658 now and schedule your 109 AC tune-up with Metro Heating and Cooling. Done right the first time, so you stay cool all summer long.
Chad back here with you on CCO. I want to talk insurance and the group I have trusted for 30 years. Not just me, my father, my boys. We have been with Amber Scholl and Associates the entire time. They are with American Family, and trust is the right word. When something awful happens with your business or your home or your car, you need people who are available. You need individuals who have a team, and they've handled every situation. Amber and her team have done that. Let's be honest. Insurance rates are complicated. You need someone who knows this business in all ways, and I wouldn't be with Amber for 30 years unless I totally believed in her. Call today, 651-738-4811. And tell me you heard this spot from Chad on CCO.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
He's an operator, baby. Yes.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Lots of texts coming in about the governor's race, the primary. Lindell says he wants to eliminate Minnesota state taxes. That seems like a popular running point. I'm sure he watched Trump just lie his beep off. Once you're in, just keep lying. Eliminating the income tax is sort of interesting, that idea. My view on taxes is the government costs what the government costs. You're going to get to that revenue number. You can get there in any number of ways, whether you want to use income tax, whether you want to use, as municipalities do, property tax, whether you want to figure out some other form of taxation. They get you one way or the other. So I don't know. I'm always a little skeptical when people are like, yeah, we're going to eliminate the income tax and we can compare it to Florida. Well, Florida's property tax is higher than ours. They also have more business, so they can charge tax on that. I don't know. Like, to me, they always get their money. Maria's in Rochester. Maria, thanks for listening. 651-461-9226. What do you want to say about the primary election day and the race that's just a couple days away?
Yeah, so I watched the Farm Fest video today, and my opinion is that we need to have someone who has good command of the state government. I think Lisa Damath is the one to work with there. Because the executive branch needs to have a really deep clean all the way from, the constitutional offices all the way down through the bureaucracy. We've got to get rid of the incompetence, the waste, the fraud. It needs to be modernized. And like Blois was saying, I think Amy Kay, I think she's in a federal bubble. I mean, she's talking about all these federal plans, but wake up, you're running for governor. And so I think the person on the stage had the best command.
Are you surprised, Maria, that Republicans endorsed Kendall Qualls and the president endorsed Mike Lindell when you have someone like Lisa Dameth, who to me is such a slam dunk, like the most qualified, most likely to give Amy Klobuchar a run for her money? I mean, Dameth to me seems like such an obvious choice.
Yeah, well, I've been through the convention process twice, both times when they were here in Rochester. And my opinion is that it's a kind of a herd psychology, unfortunately, when you're going through these conventions. And there's, backroom deals being made. So it's really not reflective of the primary voter. So unfortunately, I don't think Kendall Qualls has got the knowledge base needed to be governor or to be our nominee. I think Lindell is kind of off the rails, personally.
Yeah.
And conveniently doesn't have his budget out until tomorrow, apparently.
Right. A little late. Yeah. And he's got so much baggage, like the Democrats would have a field day with him. Kendall Qualls, the thing that gets me about Kendall Qualls is he talks all the time about how he's an outsider, which is only because he keeps losing elections. Like, he's an outsider because he can't win. It's not like he hasn't been trying to be an insider. He just hasn't succeeded.
I know. And he seems to be a good man, and I appreciate his service, you know, and I think he's got good qualities. I think he would make an excellent commissioner,
Yep.
But, I just think that as far as grasp of what needs to be done as a governor and managing the state government, I think Lisa Dameth by far.
Thanks, Maria.
Credentials.
Let's go to Wendy in Andover. Wendy, you're on CCO. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Jason. I agree 100% with the lady before me. I think Lisa is not only the most qualified, but has the best chance to beat Amy Klobuchar. Same way in the Senate. I voted already. I voted for Lisa, and I voted for Michelle Tafoya. Michelle Tafoya, again, is our best chance to take that Senate seat.
Do you wish that Lisa Dameth came out swinging a little bit more against Kendall Qualls and Mike Lindell?
Well, I kind of agree with what Blois said. I know Lisa, and it would be great. I would like to hear from every candidate, both sides, specifics. And there was a point I wanted to make, Jason.
Sure.
Is the Democrats are running on affordability. Americans forget stuff so quickly. Back in 2022, under a Democrat trifecta in Minnesota, they blew $18 billion surplus plus the fraud. But also on a national level, we had over 9% inflation. We had $10 eggs, blah, 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 and $5 gas. So, gas is higher today than it was a year ago. We've got the war. But if we put those Democrats back in control, it's going back to that.
Well, the $5 gas was war-related also, right? Like, that was also war-related. That was the Ukraine war.
The biggest factor on that was closing down the pipelines and stopping American production.
Yeah. I mean, we all definitely, I get it. Like, and thank you for the call, Wendy. I get it. We all, everybody grabs onto gas prices when, it's not our team in office and it's always their fault. I sort of wish, we'd never talk about gas prices in the context of politics because it generally has more to do with geopolitics than it does with one policy decision. Yeah, you can get in the weeds on, fuel economy regulations and things like that. That can impact prices for sure. But this idea that, and we had $5 gas for a week, right? Republicans want that $5 gas to be that's their, it's not that bad. We've had $4 gas for 3 or 4 months now. And still, I think it's defensible to say, we didn't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, so we can deal with the gas prices for a couple months. I don't know. I just think it's sort of a silly issue. We will Not gas prices, silly. It affects everybody. I understand why gas prices are an issue, but my goodness. Let's break. In a minute, I have two things I want to talk about. One is a laundry dilemma. I mean, first of all, yay for me that I did the laundry. And second of all, well, I'll tell you what I screwed up. And maybe you can help me out. It's a little bit of a train wreck, which actually is a good description for this show. Drive Time back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is the standard Minnesota radio listener certification exam. Please answer each question honestly. Okay. How often do you listen to News Talk 830 WCCO?
Most mornings, every afternoon, usually a bit in the evening.
Have you ever continued listening in a parked vehicle after reaching your destination?
Well, sometimes the conversation is so good.
So yes.
Technically.
We don't recognize technically. Complete this sentence. I heard something interesting this morning.
On CCO.
I see. Final question. Have you ever constructed a life-size replica of a WCCO host out of butter?
How did you know that?
Congratulations. You're officially certified.
There are listeners of News Talk 830 WCCO, and then there are fans. The question is, which one are you?
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. And tell them Jordana sent you.
Lisa Damuth, a Republican who delivers results.
And I led the charge in rooting out billions in fraud and waste.
To stop the fraud, you need a governor who won't back down. Lisa Damuth gets the job done. Lisa Damuth understands, to make Minnesota affordable again, we must fight fraud. Lisa Damuth knows, to create good-paying jobs for Americans, we must stop payments to illegal aliens.
I led the way to end taxpayer funding of health care for illegal immigrants.
In the legislature, Republican Lisa Damuth fought the fraudsters. Now, Lisa Damuth's running for governor.
Let's start our Minnesota comeback right here and right now.
America's PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by America's PAC and not authorized by any other candidate or committee. AmericasPAC527.com.
If you're planning to move to a senior living facility, you know firsthand that the wait lists are long, and when an opening pops up, you should take it right away. If you need to sell your house to make it happen, you're going to need to work quickly. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, will make sure that your home sells when you need it to. Steve and Cheryl knew when they got to the top of the list, they needed to be ready. They heard me talking about John on the radio and called the Good Neighbor agent to come up with a plan. It made it so they didn't have to feel rushed, and so that the short notice of their move wouldn't leave them stuck paying for two homes. When they got the call saying that a spot in a senior living center was open, they knew they had to act. Luckily, they'd already come up with a plan with John. He fired up the marketing system. Interest came in right away. Took him 2 days to find a buyer. That's it for Steve and Cheryl. Their home sold for $5,000 over asking price. They planned ahead. You should too. Curious what your home is worth? Go to johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. johnschustergroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
We all have different skills, things that make us unique. And in the Minnesota Army National Guard, we combine all of that for a common mission, serving our home. I'm Sergeant First Class Chris Urich from Glencoe. We know strength isn't found alone. It comes when all of us fight for the same goal. When that goal is protecting what matters most, there is nothing stronger. What will you bring to help us build that strength? Go to nationalguard.com/Minnesota to see how you can get started today.
Paid for by the Minnesota Army National Guard. Brought to you by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
52 southbound in St. Paul has a wreck between Lafayette Bridge and Plato Boulevard. Traffic is backed up on both sides of the highway. 35W southbound has a collision between 106th Street and the Minnesota River. That's in Bloomington, right in that same stretch where it was already stopped traffic, so it's getting even worse. 35E southbound near South Egan also has stopped traffic between Victoria Street and West 7th Street due to the construction work at West 7th. Also, a crash on 169 southbound just past 394. Traffic is stopped all the way back to Plymouth Avenue. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn-McCreevy invites you to a free seminar for pre-planning your funeral and cremation services to help protect your family in the future. Enjoy food visit with speakers from the Coon Rapids Chapel Wednesday, August 12th, 11:30 a.m. at the Coon Rapids Chapel. Information at washburnmccreevy.com or 612-377-7841.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast time brought to you by Washburn McCreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services. Here is our buddy Chris Schaefer.
Another nice night tonight. 61 will be the overnight low with a partly cloudy sky. The wind is going to pick up tomorrow from the southwest, and that's going to pump in some milder air. 84 tomorrow for the afternoon high, around 83 on Friday. We could see a few isolated showers Friday. And it looks like it stays warm right through the weekend with highs in the mid-80s.
82 in St. Paul on CCO.
Steering you through what matters. Drive time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
I did the laundry this weekend and destroyed a pair of my pants. If J.H. & Sons is listening, it's a pair of pants I just got from J.H. & Sons. I want to know your worst laundry mishap at 651-461-9226, and perhaps you can call in with advice for me as well. Here's what I did. I had a pair of brown sort of denim, brown, I guess it was denim, I don't know, brown pants, pair of brown pants. Had never washed them before. I put them in the wash with all of the clothes that I took on vacation in Mexico City, which includes a pair of light gray Joe's jeans. That was the brand, Joe. The brown dye was apparently attracted to the light gray jeans, and so the jeans came out of the washer, which Alyssa caught it because she was moving the clothes from the wash to the dryer. And the light gray had brown all over it. Brown ink, brown dye from those other pants. And you have this moment where you're like, well, what do I do? What did I do wrong? I washed it in cold. I guess I should have done it inside out or something. So what I did was I took the pants to cleaners, to a dry cleaner. On Sunday, because we did this on Sunday, and I'm like, I gotta take action quickly, right? So I didn't put it in the dryer. They were slightly damp. Took them to a dry cleaners in St. Paul that was open on Sunday, and then I got them back yesterday, and it was still brown. It's still, they're destroyed. I can't wear gray pants. It's like a tie-dye effect almost. So I don't know what to do. I feel stupid. You've destroyed this nice pair of pants. It's like, so several thoughts. One, it makes me not want to wash pants. Two, it makes me wish that Alyssa did it so I could blame her. But instead, I did it. So I guess it's my fault. Three, when I went to the dry cleaners, the woman who was working there, who was incredibly nice, oh my gosh, such personality. We had a nice little conversation. But I'm looking at her name tag, and her name... Now, tell me what you would think, Dan, if you went to the dry cleaner and the woman working there, her name was Ursula. Ursula. Does that do anything for you?
Not really. I mean,
No?
it's a rare name, kind of an older name, but I don't have any association with it, no.
So when I get in the car and my wife says, how to go, whatever. I said, well, the woman who worked there, her name was Ursula. And when she gave me the bill for the dry cleaning, she charged just your voice. It's a little mermaid reference that I think that I was highly amused with.
Sure.
But if you're in your, do you even know the Little Mermaid? That's nothing?
I know
for
it
you?
exists.
Oh my gosh. How did you exist in Gen X?
I thought relatively well, but apparently I've missed something.
You don't know Poor Unfortunate Souls? You don't know Just Your Voice?
No.
Ariel, like singing,
Nope.
ah.
I didn't know Ariel was a baritone.
I mean, do you want me to sing it in her key? I don't think anybody wants that. Nobody wants that. So anyway, I'm sort of I'm out of luck here. You know what I mean? Like, and you feel like you don't want to give up, but you sort of need to. You need to give up, right? I don't know. And also text in at 651-461-9226 if you immediately thought just your voice. Because Cook is making me feel like I'm a lunatic.
No. I'm not making you feel anything. Your feelings are your responsibility, sir.
I mean, here, play a little bit of this wonderful... Yeah, Ursula. Yeah, that's what I thought of, and I Now, unfortunately, someone's gonna listen and know this. And she, of course, my poor wife. Like, I'm doing the whole bit. I'm like, so you won't believe who's working at at Mulberry's on Grand Avenue.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, she was sort of kind of short and pear-shaped and purple. And she just charged me my voice. Texters telling me I totally screwed up the laundry. This is perfect.
I think you're aware of that at this point.
Well,
right?
but this is CCO gold.
Yes.
Because when I say that I think I screwed something up, you all respond confirming that I did screw it up. Any new clothing, a 612er says, should be washed separately the first time. I don't do laundry, and I do know that. Is that common knowledge that you're supposed to do? You do your own laundry,
Yes.
right? Do you ever buy a new piece of clothing?
I mean, occasionally. It's fairly rare. It's far more rare than it is for you, I'll put it that way.
I don't know.
Which isn't a criticism. We just have different tastes in clothes. I It certainly makes a logical sense.
It does. Yes.
But I don't know that was a known rule by any stretch of the imagination.
Jason, didn't your mama teach you how to sort clothes? I don't know. Light gray. It's all cold, right? You just throw it all in the cold. I don't do lights and darks. It all goes in the cold.
Yeah, well, obviously, even if you do the cold, though, there's some bleeding that can happen.
Extensive, it seems.
Yeah.
Another texture is a good idea. Just dye the gray pants brown.
I mean, you could do that. I do separate lights and darks for sure. And I still do cold for both, but
I'm cold all the way.
Yeah.
Andrew says, I accidentally put an $800 dry clean only shirt in the wash, and I cried when I saw it in the washer the next morning. It was torn to shreds.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not good.
Jason, you should have soaked them in a mixture of water and Biz cleaning product for 24 to 48 hours.
That's a lot of work.
And then wash the pants again. Now, I assume that by taking them to the cleaner, they would use whatever industrial cleaning products they have, and they would have done it. That's what I thought. John says always wash jean materials separate. Patrick, the laundry guy, will tell you to always use color catchers when you're... I didn't know about color catchers.
I'm not aware of that either.
When you're washing new pants especially, you should do that.
I spent the bulk of my undergraduate collegiate life at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Yes.
Whose primary colors are?
Red.
Cardinal. Thank you very much.
And
white.
White.
So when you
laundry train wreck.
Well, that's just it, right? I thought, I knew that obviously if it was a red and it's a hockey jersey I bought. And if I have to launder that I can't launder that with anything white. Except there's white on the thing.
On it, right?
I guess, yeah.
Was it bleeding? Was it often bleeding? I would imagine, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't work out well for me.
Texter washed an Angora skirt sweater outfit, and it came out, and when it was done, it would have fit a 2-year-old. Yeah. Ugh. It's the worst. It's the worst. Texter says, good Lord, an $800 shirt. Let's not shame people for buying a nice shirt. 214 texter, my 30-year-old son moved in with me. This was a similar scenario, but it was a dishwasher. So the first time he loaded it, he used dishwashing soap instead of dishwasher.
I did make that mistake once.
Suds all over the kitchen floor.
That did not end well.
Another texter says, denim often bleeds, especially in the first washing. Yeah. I did not know. I mean, I'm 51 years old. I've been washing denim for, if you count the number of times I've been doing it, it's probably like 10 times. I've been married a long time. Jeff is on the line. Jeff, I screwed it up, and now you feel like you don't want to give up, but I think I have to throw these pants out.
I'm wondering if did your mother not ever tell you when you wash new garments that you wash them alone the first time?
No, nobody ever told me that.
She didn't?
No.
Well, then this is on her.
Yeah. I've been looking for someone to blame, and Jeff, you did it. Thank you.
Here you go.
Yes.
Blame your mom.
Yeah.
And then secondarily, I've been wearing blue jeans all my life.
Right.
And I'll guarantee you the one thing you notice when you wash them the first time, you know how the pocket liners on the inside are white?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you get done washing them and everything, guess what? Those liners are blue. They're a tinge of blue.
True.
Deductive reasoning says, ooh.
A little bit of bleeding. Thank you, Jeff. Texter says, my mistake was buying new clothes.
Got it. Time for Jason to become a thrifter.
I wasn't dry clean. By the way, when you take clothes to a dry cleaner, they do other things besides dry cleaning. I'm getting roasted for taking the clothes to a dry cleaner. I don't think they dry clean them. They have washing machines at dry cleaner. They don't dry clean everything. They knew what the problem was. At least I think. I don't know. I haven't thrown out those jeans yet. I'm not giving up. Drive time back in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Chris Lindahl would never screw up the laundry. Tell you that much. Jason here for the Arms Out real estate guy. Chris Lindahl has been busy. He has, and it's been a goofy time in the real estate market. He was just on our show the other day talking about how it's not a seller's market right now and it's not a buyer's market. The challenge is that the economy is uncertain. The interest rate environment, we thought maybe they were going to cut rates, and now it seems like no. Mortgage rates have been going up again. We're close to 7%. And so many people who would be buyers are sitting on the sidelines. So if you need to sell a house, you may want to consider the guaranteed cash offer. Chris Lindahl's guaranteed cash offer gives him all the stress. He's going to fix up the property. Frankly, you can leave all your stuff in there if you want. Go to chrislindahl.com today. More and more Minnesotans are saying yes to the guaranteed cash offer. They're joining the Big Red Check Club because Lindahl gives them a way to avoid the drama. chrislindahl.com. Get to the website. Get the free Smart Seller Guide. See if it makes sense for you. I think it might. More Minnesotans are saying yes. chrislindahl.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's 5 o'clock. Your employees are headed home, but you're still updating spreadsheets, switching between software, and wondering where the day went. There's a better way. Odoo brings accounting, sales, inventory, CRM, and more together in one fully integrated platform. So you spend less time managing software and more time running your business, because your workday should end eventually. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Some Barufka's customers close their eyes and spin around real fast.
Why?
It helps them choose between style and comfort.
Our Classics in Motion collection finally bridges that gap.
But spinning around is so much fun.
The clean lines and classic style is now available with the comfort of Power Recline.
Features include a USB charging port, 4 distinct arm styles, and seat foam to match comfort preferences.
Available in sofa, love seat, and chair sizes. Built in Texas with premium fabric and top grain leather options, ideal for active families and buttery popcorn fingers.
The very thought makes my head spin.
Oh, Jim. The 3-seat sofa is Craftsman direct priced from $61.69 or $258 a month for 24 months. Barufka's, no gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing in Woodbury and Burnsville.
Decidedly moving.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is brought to you by Liuna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. 494 westbound in Bloomington has a fender bender between France Avenue and Highway 100. Highway 169 northbound up in Champlin has an accident blocking the left lane at Elm Creek Parkway. That backup starts at 610. Liuna, Minnesota reminds you to slow down in construction zones. The members of Liuna and their union contractors are building better infrastructure for you. So please slow down and pay attention to the road signs when you see orange and yellow. Brought to you by Liuna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. Serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
JTR, roofing and siding, that's who we are.
Now, Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
It's JTR Roofing jingle. It's catchy, isn't it? JTR Roofing bringing us the forecast. Tonight, 61 is the low. Tomorrow, 84 is the high. Friday, about the same. Isolated showers possible on Friday. Going to be a decent stretch of weather. Humidity coming back this weekend. Right now, it's 80 on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's been funny for years.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
So yesterday on the show, we talked about the Wisconsin candidate for governor who declined to answer whether or not she still believes that we should cancel Thanksgiving. This is Democratic Socialist Francesca Hong, and proving that the young generation of political candidates, man, a lot of them are terrible. Today, she does an interview with Politico, and you thought, like, maybe now she would take another whack at it and actually answer the question and say she thinks she should cancel Thanksgiving, or she was wrong and just posted something wrong. Here's what Francesca said today. Yeah, so clever.
I actually love it.
Uh-huh.
We bring, actually, it's kind of in-laws and family members and their in-laws, and it's a big event.
Oh my God.
And, I'm gonna be real. I'm kind of a curmudgeon when it comes to holidays in general.
No, you made it worse. You made it worse.
Right now, what we want to get serious
yes,
about is making
everyone
sure
wants
that
to
we deliver
vote for a candidate
trifecta
for
the
governor
majority-
who
for
hates
Democrats.
holidays in
And,
general.
It's exciting to see more and more people join our movement, get engaged,
Curmudgeon
get
for
organized,
holidays,
and
and
get
I'm a
to work to make sure
sarcastic
that
pain in
we
the butt
have,
instead of just
Democrats
acknowledging
in
this
the
was a
majority
stupid
in the
controversy
legislature
that I
and the
kicked up.
executive
What
this
is
year.
wrong with you people? Just sort
My
of arrogant.
favorite
Continental Diamond
holiday
time check.
is
4:57.
Thanksgiving.
Time to get you up to date with ABC News and Laura Oakes on CC.
I don't want to cancel
The
it.
attorneys
I
at the
actually
Angle
love it.
firm want you to know when it comes time to
actually, it's
protecting
kind
your
of,
rights as a
in-laws
property
and family
manager,
members and
owner,
their
or
in-laws,
investor,
and it's
they're ready for you.
a big event.
From evictions and LLCs
And,
to wills
I'm
and
just-
trusts,
I'm gonna be
the
real.
Angle firm
I'm
is
kind of
committed to
a
giving you
curmudgeon when it comes
prompt,
to holidays
focused
in
advice for
general.
a quality outcome. For a free
So,
consultation,
but
call
right now, what we want to get
612-373-7060
serious about is making sure that we deliver a Democratic
or go
trifecta
to
for the majority for
theanglelawfirm.com.
And
That's
it's exciting to see
theanglelawfirm.com.
more and more people
Are you an adult
join our
with
movement,
uncontrolled moderate
get
to severe
engaged,
Crohn's
get
disease
organized, and
symptoms
get to
and
work to
still
make sure
packing
that
a
we
backup bag of
have,
clothes?
Democrats
Just in case,
in the majority in the
Skyrizi
legislature and the
Risankizumab
executive
Riza
this
can
year.
help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at
My
4 weeks. Plus,
favorite
Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission
is
and visibly improve damage of the
Thanksgiving.
intestinal lining. Individual results may vary.
There you have
Skyrizi
it.
is a prescription injection
Yep.
medicine. Don't
I
use
don't
if allergic to
want to cancel it. I
Skyrizi.
actually
Serious
love it.
allergic reactions,
bring,
increased infections, or lower
actually,
ability
it's
to
kind
fight
of,
them may occur.
in-laws and
Before
family
treatment,
members
get
and
checked
their
for
in-laws,
infections
and
and
it's a-
tuberculosis.
it's
Tell
a
your
big
doctor about
event.
any flu-like symptoms or
And,
vaccines. Liver
I'm
problems
gonna be
leading to
real.
hospitalization
I'm kind
may
of a
occur when
curmudgeon when
treated
it
for
comes to
Crohn's.
holidays
Ready
in
to take
general.
control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about
So,
Skyrizi, the
but
number
right
one
now,
prescribed
what we want to
biologic
get
in
serious
Crohn's
about is
disease.
making sure that we deliver a Democratic trifecta for the majority for
Learn
Democrats.
more at skyrizi.com
And,
or call
it's exciting to see more and more
1-866-SKYRIZI.
people join our movement,
And
get
now, a
engaged,
no-frills
get
ad
organized,
brought
and
to
get
you
to
by
work to make
Progressive
sure that
Insurance.
we
Here it is.
have,
You can save
Democrats
big when you
in the
bundle your
majority in
home
the
and auto with
legislature and the
Progressive.
executive this
That's
year.
it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you can save at Progressive.com.
Let's make this
My
summer your best summer
favorite
ever. Jason here for
holiday
Luther Kia of
is
Bloomington, and Luther Kia
Thanksgiving.
Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride.
'Cause
Outstanding
I love it.
prices, $399
Yep.
a month. Sign and
I
drive
don't
lease
want to
offers on
cancel it. I
Celta,
actually love
Sportage,
it.
Nero,
We bring,
and K5. Get out of here.
actually,
Plus
it's kind of,
$750
in-laws and
owner
family
loyalty
members and
cash
their
on the
in-laws,
stunning
and
Kia Telluride
it's
and
a
the
big
Telluride
event.
Hybrid. Best cars for
And,
the money on the market. Check out
I'm
their
gonna be
brand
real.
new facility.
I'm kind of
now
a
open at
curmudgeon when it
35
comes to
W
holidays in
494.
general.
Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Still
but
live,
right now,
still
what we want to
local,
get serious
still
about is making sure
listening.
that we deliver Democratic
News Talk
perspective for the
830
majority for
WCCO
Democrats.
1029
And,
HD2 Minneapolis
it's
St. Paul.
exciting to see more and more people join our
From
movement.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Las Vegas, President Trump delivering remarks on his economic
Democrats
policies.
in
He's
the
touting
majority
his
in
no
the
tax on
legislature and the
tips for
executive this year.
hospitality workers and lower inflation, he says.
But here in Nevada, we've created over 40,000 new jobs and lifted nearly
My
100,000 Nevadans
holiday
off of food stamps.
is
And they don't want to be on food stamps.
Thanksgiving.
Because they've got new jobs. They've got jobs.
They
don't need food stamps.
Unemployment in Nevada
don't
remains
wanna
among the
cancel it.
highest
I
nationwide at
actually love it.
5.1%
We bring,
as of June, according to the
actually,
Bureau
it's
of
kind of,
Labor
in-laws
Statistics.
and family
some
members and
Vegas
their in-laws,
hospitality
and it's
workers say they're getting
it's a big
squeezed
event.
by a tourism
And, you know,
slowdown and blame
I'm
the
just-
war in
I'm gonna be
Iran
real.
and
I'm
Trump
kind of
era
a
tariffs
curmudgeon
for
when it
higher
comes to
costs.
holidays
Las
in
Vegas saw
general.
about 3.1 million fewer visitors last
So,
year, a
but
7.5%
right now, what
fall
we
off,
want to get serious
according to the
about is
Las
making
Vegas
sure that we
Convention
deliver
and Visitors
Democratic
Authority.
trifecta for the majority
Affordability
for
remains a key
Democrats.
theme ahead of the midterms. In Michigan,
it's
ABC News
exciting to
projects
see more and more
progressive
people
Dr.
join our
Abdul
movement,
Al-Sayed will
get
win the
engaged, get
Democratic
organized,
Senate
and get
race
to work
against
to make sure
moderate
that we
Representative Haley
have,
Stevens.
Democrats
ABC News
in the
political
majority in
director
the
Avery
legislature
Harper.
and the
But
executive
what
this year.
it does say is that there is definitely a desire for an outsider candidate, someone who is espousing some of these progressive ideals. You know, I was on the ground in Michigan, and every time you go to a campaign event with Abdul Al-Sayed, he begins with a very simple motto: getting money out of politics, putting money in your pocket, and Medicare for all.
He'll face GOP Representative Mike Rogers in November. New FBI data providing more context about the nearly 36 active shooter incidents in the U.S. last year.
The FBI says that last year there were 34 total active shooter incidents, which they define as one or more shooters attempting to kill others in a populated area. That's a 42% increase year over year, and the number of victims of mass shootings increased nearly 60%. According to the FBI, every incident involved a male shooter who acted alone.
ABC's Peter Haralambous, Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly sunny, 79 degrees at 5:02. I'm Laura Oakes, and we are following some breaking news out of Isanti County, north of the metro. WCCO Susie Jones joins us live with the latest. Suze.
Laura, on a social media post, police say they responded to a report of gunfire in the 800 block of Cedar Street Southwest in the city of Isanti. Just got off the phone with the chief there, telling us that they believe a person inside that residence is firing from within the home, calling it a life-threatening situation to anyone in the area. They are asking people to avoid that area, if at all possible, until law enforcement can resolve the crisis. Live in the newsroom, Susie Jones, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Thank you, Susie. An 11-year-old boy taken into custody in St. Cloud after he allegedly stabbed an 18-year-old multiple times. Investigators say it happened inside a vestibule at a business yesterday. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Police believe it was a random attack, but the motive isn't clear. They are talking to the boy's family. On the east side of St. Paul.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen is the attempt to put a bandage on what is otherwise a leading humanitarian crisis.
The Pig's Eye Park homeless encampment clears out today, sending dozens elsewhere, whether it's a shelter or perhaps a different encampment. City officials saying it needed to shut down for safety reasons after hundreds of 911 calls. Nearby shelters expanding their capacity limits to help the situation. Keith Kazurski is with Catholic Charities' Dorothy Day Place.
We've seen more people than would be typical for any given day, and our job is to figure out what they need and how we meet that need, more so than where did they come from.
He says staff are conducting regular perimeter checks near their facility to connect displaced people with services and hot meals. Authorities say human remains believed to be that of a missing Twin Cities man have been found in northwestern Wisconsin. Douglas County Sheriff's Department officials say personal items found with the body indicate it is that of 89-year-old Edward Hanton of Mendota Heights. Hanton went missing in late July after family members said he may have been heading to Superior or a family cabin in the area. Governor Tim Walz and state public safety officials saying it's remarkable there has been no loss of life and no major damage to any structures in the Boundary Waters Canoe area wildfires.
The statewide peacetime emergency will officially lapse next Tuesday, but Walz says the focus is now shifting toward financial recovery.
I would encourage the legislature to right now start working on a package of relief for the area.
Although he says a special session is unlikely before the primaries, he says formal relief will likely be addressed when the legislature opens in January.
WCCO's Taylor Rivera. And for the third consecutive month, the WNBA has named Minnesota Lynx guard Olivia Miles Rookie of the Month for July. She is the first rookie in franchise history to earn the honor 3 times. WCCO News Time is 5:05.
Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts, and Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bankguy. Capital One N.A. Member FDIC.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is sponsored by Capital One. 494 westbound in Bloomington has 2 cars on the shoulder between France Avenue and Highway 100. Things are backed up all the way to East Bush Lake Road. Highway 169 northbound in Champlin has an accident blocking the left lane at Elm Creek Parkway. Police are on scene. It's down to 1 lane right there. The incident is right under that walk bridge that crosses over 169. 94 westbound has traffic completely stopped between 280 and the Lowry Tunnel. If possible, plan an alternate route. That one's not moving at all. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Gutman Law, Wills, Trusts, and Probate Law. Find them at gutmanlaw.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
It's another windows open, comfortable kind of night tonight. Partly cloudy as we fall back to 61. We'll be partly cloudy tomorrow as well. It should be warmer with a high of 84. The wind is going to pick up. Coming from the southwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. A few isolated showers are possible on Friday. Most of us will stay dry.
Mostly sunny right now, 79 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
The news is where you'll hear what's happening. The talk will reveal why. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
A little breaking news involving our good friend, the former Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem. What restaurant in Minnesota was Kristi Noem spotted canoodling with Corey Lewandowski? Welcome to your gossip headquarters. Drive Time with DeRusha. This story breaking this afternoon on TMZ. Do we care about Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski anymore? She's out, right? Well, I said she was out. Remember, Dan, when we talked about President Trump firing Kristi Noem as the Secretary of Homeland Security, and all of the Noem supporters were on my case saying she wasn't fired. She wasn't fired. She got a new job. She got a new job.
They claim she was promoted.
She was promoted to some made-up job. Is she still doing that job? I don't know.
I don't know if she ever started doing that job.
Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas was her title. I believe that is still her title. But she was spotted in the Twin Cities. So if you're Kristi Noem and you're canoodling with the guy that isn't your husband, but you claim that you and Corey Lewandowski were not in a relationship, what restaurant would it be? 651 461 9226. Best restaurant for canoodling. Is canoodling still... Are we still using that term? That was like a New York City tabloid term for a long time. I think it's a great term. It's a great term. I'm a fan of canoodling, by the way. So you're probably going to go, and texters coming in, Chuck E. Cheese, perhaps, Popeye's Chicken. Another texter says, I like when bad things happen to her, so I do guess I care. Well, then adding, she does seem to be getting more action than me, though, so boo on that. I think we like gossip, don't we? Like, this is sort of a stupid story to talk about, but it has a Minnesota tie, so it caught my attention. And I'm a little embarrassed about it, right? Like, I had a plan of other stuff to talk about this half hour, but then I saw, like, woo, Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski are in a Minnesota restaurant. And right away, I start going down a rabbit hole, trying to figure out what restaurant it was. So TMZ posted a video of this. Spotted spending time together in Minnesota. Now, canoodling, someone wanted a definition for canoodling. Canoodling is an informal, lighthearted term for kissing, cuddling, and showing affectionate physical love. People use it when a couple hugs, holds hands, or touches in a sweet and romantic way. According to Merriam-Webster, Dan, where do you think, when you think of canoodling, like just generally speaking, are there spots where you think would be like a prime location? If you were looking to canoodle with a young lady, for example, where would you canoodle?
You know, it's been so long, I'm not even sure I can give you a straight answer on that.
When I was dating Alyssa, we're in college. I came to visit her in the Twin Cities, and one night she was driving me somewhere in her box on wheels, which is what we called her Saturn car at the time. And I asked her, I said, Alyssa, I'm like here in Plymouth, Wayzata, where do people go to canoodle? I'm sure I didn't ask canoodle, but I asked, where's the makeout spot? And my wife, who I am her first boyfriend, she literally had no answer. And I was so annoyed. I'm like, let's just go back to your house. Like, this is, you can't tell me one place where we could go to canoodle. This is your challenge for tonight. I would like you, especially those of you with teenagers, to use the word canoodle. Canoodling. Has the word canoodling ever been said this much on WCCO radio? Probably not.
I would guess not, no, yeah.
I mean, I've said canoodling more, and mostly it's just because it's fun to say. Try it. If you're in your car right now, you can say it out loud. Canoodling. Texter says, the dog park is a great place to canoodle. Another said Hooters. Another says maybe they were at the kissing booth section at Risata Cucina in Robbinsdale. White Castle. I tuned in late, heard something about breaking news about Kristi Noem having an affair. Is that the reason there's a police barricade? They want people to stay away? Texter says movie theaters were the place. Yeah, movie theaters in the 90s. That was a great canoodle location. Neil is in St. Paul. Neil, do you have a spot in St. Paul that's like your canoodling place?
Well, after married 27 years, I guess, I don't know what we call it anymore, but back in the day, the drive-in theater was definite canoodle spot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I guess it replaced, maybe they used to call it petting or heavy petting.
Heavy petting, yes. Oh my gosh, I remember that term. I am certain in my news anchor days that I referred to certain activity as heavy petting.
Yeah, that's cringeworthy.
Can you imagine like explaining that to your kids? Like, well, what was heavy petting? It's like, well, and that. So, what was the light petting prior to the heavy petting?
I don't know. They would have already ran out of the room by then. then I would say, what do you ever think made you guys?
Yeah, exactly. The kids like to think that it only happened that one time when they were conceived. That was it.
That's as far as their mind will travel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Thank
you,
day,
Neil.
my friend.
Appreciate it. Very good. Texter says, I don't care where. I would canoodle with Kristi Noem. Now, this is the Kristi Noem conundrum, right? Would you canoodle with someone that you find like their behavior or their politics distasteful? Cook, would you canoodle? I mean, Kristi Noem, she's a beautiful woman. Would you canoodle with Kristi Noem?
For the story?
For the plot is what the kids say, right? Yeah, you would do it for the plot.
I mean,
right?
There's an argument to be made.
I might do it for the plot. I'd have to get permission from Alyssa first. Actually, I'm certain how that worked out, how that would work out. Watching the submarine races. Yes, that I remember my parents using that euphemism. That's a good one. Jason, the best place to canoodle? It's got to be in a little tiny park on the north side of Buffalo Lake at the end of the cul-de-sac. Whoops, sorry, that maybe is too much experience talking there. Do kids still have a spot where they go to canoodle? You know, like if you're I feel like the youngsters, the teenagers, like they're not even, like they're not getting driver's licenses. So like are they taking a Lyft or an Uber to go? Like, I don't know, like this was part of the freedom of the teenager getting the car, that you had a spot that you could then make out. You could go to the car.
Well, aren't all the studies saying that, you know, the Gen Zers and Youngs are not participating as often or as heavily as they used to?
No canoodling?
So maybe that trickles down, right?
Maybe. Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski were spotted at the grocer's table, according to this TMZ article. And then it's very funny because Tracy and I were talking about, Tracy said her favorite place to take a walk is the new boardwalk in Wayzata, right along Lake Minnetonka. And here's a photo on TMZ.com of the two of them taking a walk down the boardwalk. Now, what is funny about this to me is that, like, they have to write a whole story about this. And here I am, I just did 10 minutes on it. So I just love gossip, man. I do. Do you guys like gossip? I love it. I miss CJ writing about gossip in the Twin Cities. I wish we had a gossip columnist. I want the juice. I want the gossip. I want the scandal. I want the good stuff. Like, I don't want it all to be bad. I want some of it to be good, right? The good gossip. But mostly I want to know about bad things that people are doing. Don't you guys? Do you miss local gossip? Who do you want the gossip about? Dan and I will make up gossip about whoever you want to text in at 651-461-9226. Drive time back in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Now, Dr. Mohiba Tureen would probably have some things to say about Kristi Noem's kind of filler choices. You know what I mean? It's Jason here. This is why if you're interested in like Dysport or fillers or any of that stuff for your face, do not leave it up to, the gnome zone. I would go to a dermatologist. That's what I do. That's what my wife does. Tureen Dermatology. They have cosmetic dermatology options for you, from the facials to the lasers to the fillers and the toxins, and all of those things are all available there. The other thing that I want to remind you about with Tureen Dermatology that I think a lot of people don't think about, but if you're a guy, especially like in your 20s or 30s, maybe that's your son or grandson, more and more men are taking preventative measures to try to keep their hair from falling out. And the dermatologist in Tureen Dermatology, they specialize in that. August is Hair Loss Awareness Month. For me, every month is Hair Loss Awareness Month. Tureen Dermatology can help you out, though. From the medical side to the cosmetic side, the treatments, there are so many options available today, way more options than were available even 5 years ago. So reach out. Make an appointment at one of their 12 locations. Do it today. Tareen, TureenDermatology.com.
Mr. Air Conditioner, this is your annual performance review. It says here that you feel cold air is no longer aligned with your personal brand.
It may be time for a $59 AC tune-up from Apollo Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Now HR is involved.
Visit us at callapollo.com.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
The time to be outdoors is now. The weather is just lovely. It's Benita here. Make your backyard a place you'll love spending time in with By the Yard's beautiful maintenance-free outdoor furniture, built to withstand the elements and designed for comfortable outdoor living. It is so fantastic to sit and relax in By the Yard furniture. Visit a showroom today and experience it for yourself. By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Drive Time with DeRusha.
I wish you weren't right, but you are.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near 5th Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
Should I feel bad about doing Kristi Noem like this? Like I shouldn't. Is this? Well, not that. Cook with the eye roll. This is your fault for like asking about the people going to the concert tonight. This is what happened, and then I get distracted.
That's how you're going to try and connect.
I'm going to blame you.
Interesting.
Who needs CJ for gossip columnists when we have JD? I will say back in the day when CJ was writing about public figures in the Star Tribune, media people hated CJ. Hated her. Like she was mean, she was this, she was that. When you look at like a lot of the stories that sort of festered over the last couple of years, I do think if like one of the papers had a gossip columnist, these stories would have come out much quicker. Like the Liz Collin, Channel 4, dating Bob Kroll, the head of the police union, and now they got married. And I always liked Bob Kroll. He was a great interview, always open, like always responded to my emails. I had a great relationship with Bob. Liz was my co-anchor for a long time. We had a bit of a falling out. But like it would have been better if someone would have publicly said, hey, Liz and Bob are dating. And then it all would have been dealt with, and it wouldn't have been this kind of thing that went on for years where it's like, well, no one knew about this, or did people know, or was it okay, or whatever. Like sometimes shaking the truth out of the trees, even if it's personal, it feels personal. Sometimes I think that's better. Now, like, no one covers the media. The media can, who knows what they're doing. But you don't have a media reporter like we used to have sort of watchdogs on us. And the gossip columnist, I think there's some benefit in knowing that somebody might bust you. If you're a skeezer or you're cheating on your spouse or whatever, like, I don't know. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Textures are all over the place on this topic. Find a webcam to canoodle. Sad. That's just sad. I want to ask you about this story that popped in Arizona. The Democratic candidate for governor, Katie Hobbs, is set to pick a Republican to be her running mate. I wish we had more bipartisanship in our politics, and I do not need a Democrat picking a Republican to be on the ticket together. I do not need a Republican picking a Democrat to be on the ticket together. What sort of pretend 1984 version of politics are people trying to bring back? Do you guys want that kind of bipartisanship? 651-461-9226. We've heard Amy Klobuchar say that she would appoint a Republican to be on her cabinet if she's elected governor. And I don't mind that. You can find great expertise in certain areas. Could you find a Republican to be the, agriculture commissioner or Department of Economic and Employment, or Employment and Economic Development, DEED? Yeah, sure. Tourism? Yeah, maybe. Like, to me, that there's some logic there. But like, if you're a Republican, is there any way that you're voting for the Democrat who's running for governor just because they picked a Republican running mate? And this just feels like a fantasy, a pre-social media sort of dreamland of what politics used to be. Although I don't know that politics was ever like this kind of bipartisan. I would be more interested in having Republicans and Democrats talking to each other more, socializing more, trying to find common ground and move policy forward instead of being obstructionist to each other all the time. But I don't need the performance of like, well, my lieutenant governor is a Republican and I'm a Democrat. Who cares? And this is the sort of thing that I think people would think I would like, right? Did you think I would like this? You sent me this story this morning. It's just so phony to me. It's not actually.
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of what I thought you would go with it. So
Yeah. You usually can guess where my head is. Dan knows my head pretty well. He may know it better than me at this point.
How about that?
I get the sentiment. I get the sentiment here. Like, we need to signal to our voting populace that it is okay to hang out with people with different political views. But I would argue, like, you should hang out with people of different political views. You should, like here in Minnesota, when you have the governor having negotiations, getting down to the final budget, like, everybody should be at the table, all the leaders, minority, majority. It shouldn't just be your team. Like, I would like to see more of those measures. I don't need like look, I got, the former Republican or who cares?
It does make me think back to John McCain's presidential campaign when he wanted to. I mean, not nearly.
Yeah.
He wanted to pick Joe Lieberman, a Democratic senator and a colleague of his, as his running mate.
Right.
And got talked out of it.
That's right.
I do wonder what would be different about politics in this country if something like that had actually happened. Even if he didn't win the election, obviously he was up against, monstrously popular candidate in Barack Obama at the time.
Right.
But I do wonder, just having that ticket out there, if that would have maybe sent us down a different path or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people are so polarized, and the parties, there used to be an argument, and you see Royce White trying to make this argument that it's a uniparty, that the Democrats and the Republicans are the same. I think we have definitely learned over the last 10 years that Democrats and Republicans are not the same. Now, there are some areas where I think they've been the same. I do wonder if the younger generation is going to look at Gen X and say, and the boomers and say, how did you guys build up such a national debt? All you do is spend. I do wonder if that will come home someday. Both parties definitely agree that they love to spend money. But I don't know. I'm just not that interested in this. I'm not that interested. Texter's saying, I want Adam Kinzinger to run for president and Dean Phillips as his vice president. I would say Adam Kinzinger and Dean Phillips are neither Democrats nor Republicans, right?
Not by the current definitions.
So if they ran together as an independent, I would be fine with that. It's the idea of saying I'm a Democrat and I can have a Republican on my ticket. So what? Let's break. Enough is coming your way in just a minute. Your chance to say what you've heard enough about, what you've seen on the roads or in your neighborhood that you're like, ugh, enough. It could be politics. It could be regular life, real life, whatever. 651-461-9226. Love your calls. Love your texts. Enough. Coming your way next.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
36 tech firms have created the Open Secure AI Alliance in a move that the firms say will safeguard software and agents in the age of artificial intelligence by developing and sharing open technologies and tools. NVIDIA, Cisco, and Salesforce are among the firms in the alliance, with NVIDIA saying in the announcement that cybersecurity is among the top 3 beneficiaries of open source software. I'm Jason Brooks.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
When you have an oh no moment in your home, whether it's plumbing, whether it's electric, I want you to call Randy's and visit their website, callrandys.com. It's Jason. That's who I call when those oh no moments pop up, and it's stressful, isn't it? Maybe you've got flickering lights. Maybe you've replaced, this happened to me, you replace your light bulbs with LED lights and you just can't quite get it right. Maybe you have a clogged drain. Teenagers, for example. That can, the hair fills up the drain. You're like, oh, my gosh, what am I going to do about this? Oh, no. Don't freak out. Call Randy's. They do just about everything when it comes to plumbing and electrical repair. We're talking about the water heater goes out. They got you. Maybe you need rewiring because your home is old and it's time to upgrade to handle all the things you got plugged in. They'll upgrade your electrical panel in your garage or your basement. They'll do sewer and drain service, sump pumps, water heaters, water softeners, filtration systems. They even install EV chargers if you need that. Randy's got licensed pros. They show up ready. They're going to explain your options clearly. Maybe you're planning ahead for a bigger project. Call Randys.com. Maybe you've got the oh-no moment. Same-day repairs, 2-hour arrival windows, alerts when your tech's on the way. Sounds good. Take it from an oh-no to an all right. Call Randys.com. Call Randy's Electric and Plumbing.
Lisa Damuth, a Republican who delivers results.
And I led the charge in rooting out billions in fraud and waste.
To stop the fraud, you need a governor who won't back down. Lisa Damuth gets the job done. Lisa Damuth understands to make Minnesota affordable again, we must fight fraud. Lisa Damuth knows to create good-paying jobs for Americans, we must stop payments to illegal aliens.
I led the way to end taxpayer funding of health care for illegal immigrants.
In the legislature, Republican Lisa Damuth fought the fraudsters. Now, Lisa Damuth's running for governor.
Let's start our Minnesota comeback right here and right now.
America's PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by America's PAC and not authorized by any other candidate or committee. AmericasPAC527.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Red on the map out there. 94 westbound has a fresh crash in Minneapolis between Riverside and Cedar Avenue. On top of the stop traffic already sitting near the Lowry Hill Tunnel. 494 is stop and go from 169 over to Portland Avenue. Plan some extra time there. It's all jammed up. And Crosstown is jammed from Cedar over to 169 in both directions. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren K. Meyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. Serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
JTR, roofing and siding, that's who we are.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
JTR Roofing bringing us the Chris Schaefer forecast.
Another nice night tonight. 61 will be the overnight low with a partly cloudy sky. The wind is going to pick up tomorrow from the southwest, and that's going to pump in some milder air. 84 tomorrow for the afternoon high, around 83 on Friday. We could see a few isolated showers Friday. And it looks like it stays warm right through the weekend with highs in the mid-80s.
Man, the sun is out. It's 80 degrees. Does it get better than this on CCO?
Drive Time with DeRusha, where the conversation's always in drive. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
I have had enough! Enough is enough! Enough!
Oh, it's time for enough. I can't wait. I want to know what's on your mind, what's driving you crazy, what you have had enough of. 651-461-9226. I have had enough of the people who comment on our TikTok channel, DeRusha Show. Yeah, we have TikTok now, Dan. We're hip with the kids. Just about every post that gets more than 800 views. So every once in a while, like a lot of things sit around 800 and then something goes and you get 3,000, 5,000, 20,000. And once you cross that 800 view Rubicon, someone is going to respond on the post with 2 words. Hair plugs. Now, first of all, I would love to see a picture of you. This is my new approach on social media. When people insult me, which, by the way, saying hair plugs is not insulting. I got a hair transplant, people. I got 2 of them. Are they plugs? No. This is my real hair right here. It's not that they, it's just this is Jason's hair. But those people never have a photo of themselves. And I believe you should be required to post a photo of your ugly ass face if you're going to insult me. Because odds are real good you are hideous. You are hideous. Because you're hideous on the inside, and that is a way of revealing itself externally. Just like I saw a friend of mine post a picture on Instagram yesterday, and she looked amazing. And I said, I can tell that you are taking care of yourself and feeling good on the inside because it shows up. I think it shows up. That said, hair plugs. So weird. Can you imagine, you're scrolling through the internet and you're like, I got him. Hair plug. Get a life. I've had enough of it, Dan.
Clearly.
Yeah. It's annoying.
Christy says you got to just ignore the haters, Jason.
I mostly ignore the haters.
You do mostly ignore them.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you're like
everybody's human.
This is about the
gets under your skin.
This is about the 10th. Today was about the 10th time that happened. Now, by the way, the person today who posted this had the Rebel Loon as the profile picture.
Sensitive lefty?
Sensitive lefty. So I've also had enough of the Rebel Loon. Because the Rebel Loon was a symbol of something great. It was a symbol of Minnesotans rising up to take care of their neighbors. It was a symbol born out of love, of people saying, I got to protect the people who make my community great. It was born during the protest around the aggressive action and illegal action, in my view, of some ICE agents. And so the Rebel Loon became this sort of rallying thing, which is cool. But now I find the most intolerant comments that I get on posts come from people with the Rebel Loon. Because that is now your personality. And what I would say is get a real personality. Show your picture and then say the obnoxious things you want to say. So that's my enough. Lots of text coming in, Dan. I've had enough of people not knowing how to drive. Honestly, driving is not that difficult. That's an interesting point. Is driving not that difficult? I think driving is actually remarkably difficult. And it's sort of astonishing that we don't have multiple fatal pileups every day.
I think driving is not that difficult, but we've made it difficult because we have so many different things with our phones and whatever else. All the distractions that we create for ourselves. I think the actual act of driving is not all that hard, but being locked into it and not allowing yourself to drift off. And
that's hard.
That is hard.
That part is hard.
That is hard.
I read today that Mercedes is going back to more physical buttons on their displays because they found that they got too carried away with technology for technology's sake. And all of the touch screens is actually more distracting to people.
Yeah.
When they just want to turn the volume up on the radio, they just want a knob.
Yeah.
Turn it up instead of boop, beep, burp, burp, beep, beep, beep. Thank you. That was my...
We'll clip that one.
I've had enough of the mainstream media protecting the two-party system. Ooh. Is it the mainstream media that protects the two-party system, or is it the fact that the third parties don't do the work? Third parties want to come in and run for the marquee races. They want to run for governor. They want to run for Senate. They want to run for mayor. And you know what? That's not how you build a party. Sorry. You build a party by running for school board, by running for city council, state representative. You build from the bottom up. And this is why I think third parties have never caught on in this country, because they don't do the work.
I've had enough of people pointing the finger at media for everything that they hate, because I think it's just lazy. I think, media exists, especially in this day and age, as a reflection of society, right? So what you react to is where the media goes. So if you want to, blame something that you don't like in the media, look in a mirror, because the media is just going where you all react to. So if you really want a third party, react to third party candidates, and guess where the media is going to go?
Yeah, go vote for them, show up for the rallies. But I really think they have to start at the bottom.
I agree with that point 100%. If you want to build a party, if you want to build a functioning party, third party over the course of time, you have to start.
It's why third parties are largely personality plays, right? Jesse Ventura won as an independent because he was Jesse Ventura.
Because he's Jesse Ventura, yeah.
Ross Perot built some momentum because it was Ross Perot.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, I've had enough of interviewees asking themselves questions just so they could answer questions the interviewer doesn't ask. Absolutely. Some media trainer taught people that, and now that you guys have heard this, you're going to see it constantly. It is so annoying. So annoying. What you need is an interviewer to say, that's not the question I asked. And that's hard, especially on TV where you only have 2 or 3 minutes. They manage to eat up all the time. Let's break. Keep them coming. Tons of texts. You can send us a voice message, too. If you use the Odyssey app, there's a microphone right next to where you listen live. Record a voice message. Send it to Dan and me in the studio. We'll play Your Enough on the air next.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tell you what I've had enough of, and that is high insurance rates. Oof. Enough. I've had enough of not having choices when it comes to insurance. If you're a customer of the Canopy Group, you would not be saying any of those things. It's Jason here for my insurance team, the team at the Canopy Group. What I love about the Canopy Group is they work for me. They do not work for one insurance company like most insurance agents in Minnesota. Nothing against the traditional way of doing insurance. Most of those agents are awesome, nice people, and they have one option. The Canopy Group has 16 different companies, all of them reputable. Some are big names, some you've never heard of. Doesn't matter. They got you covered. The best coverage, the best price. That's the promise. That's what they deliver. And the Canopy Group saved me and my family $820 on home and auto insurance my first year. And they check year after year to make sure they have the best companies for my family, my zip code, my car, my house, reach out tonight. 800-967-3389. You can find that phone number or get a quote online. Do it at thecanopygroup.com.
Join the discussion.
I think it's important that our voices are heard.
That's going too far. If you can dish it out, you've got to be able to take it.
Have a different take? Call in.
I think you need to look at everything from both sides of the table.
Go for it, not with my tax dollars.
I have so many feelings about this.
And government can't fix that for you.
Hello.
Got something to say? Say it here.
That's the viewpoint from a lot of us out in rural Minnesota.
News, views, and you. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Dave Lee for Aquarius Home Services. As summer starts packing its bags, your home suddenly decides it wants one last little adventure. The AC takes a vacation. The water heater forgets to heat. Or that light switch sparks instead of shines. At Aquarius Home Services, their trusted HVAC techs, plumbers, and electricians are ready for whatever your home dreams up with $98 off any repair. Keep your home worry-free and schedule today at AquariusHomeservices.com. Aquarius, earning the right to be recommended.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you the goods with the hit of the summer, Guys and Dolls. You got your delicious dinner. You got your great show. Heck, you got free parking. Such a deal. Guys and Dolls, it's hilarious, romantic. Hit tunes like Luck Be a Lady and Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat. This is the high-rolling hit musical for the whole family. And it's your lucky day because I'm going to tell you how to score these tickets. Visit chanhassendt.com and you will hit the jackpot.
Hey, it's Brew. Between my radio show, filming content, editing videos, and trying to stay connected with family, reliable Wi-Fi isn't really optional anymore. I just need it to work. And that's why I like that with Xfinity, you get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years, guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, Xfinity makes getting connected simple with same-day Wi-Fi so you can get online in minutes. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Sometimes it feels like the news is full of things that have never happened before. And that is not exactly true. In fact, it may have happened this very week, hundreds or thousands of years ago. I'm Sally Helm, host of the podcast History This Week from the History Channel. Trade embargoes? Thomas Jefferson tried them. Rent too high? We've been arguing about that for a while. Each episode is proof. The past isn't that far away. Listen to History This Week, available now on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Highway 100 southbound still has an accident on the left shoulder, right at Highway 55. 94 westbound still has that crash between Riverside and Cedar Avenue in Minneapolis. Be on the lookout for that one. And 35W is a parking lot from Crosstown up to 94, which is also jam tight. So that's a long, ugly stretch with no relief on either end. That's a look at the roads. I'm Derek Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
The time to enjoy your outdoor space is now. At By the Yard, you'll find beautiful maintenance-free outdoor furniture built for the way you live. Visit a By the Yard showroom and see why life is better outdoors.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast brought to you by the Yard. Thank you for that, Vanita. Tonight, partly cloudy, low is 61. Tomorrow, 84 is the high. Friday, 83. Humidity creeps up over the weekend, but a pretty pleasant stretch of weather for the first week of August. Right now in Wayzata, it's 80 degrees and sunny on CCO.
Drive time with DeRusha.
I don't think it's working. Hello.
No. Right, yes.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Enough!
Lots of tax with what people have had enough of. One texter says, I've not had enough cabin country in Minnesota. This is the time of summer where I think if you did not get up north or you did not get away to a cabin, you sort of have that moment where you're like, oh, I'm running out of time. Running out of time. Another texter. I've not had enough of Costco's $1.50 hot dogs. Do we need to change the segment into what we've not had enough of? Maybe.
I don't think that's as much fun.
I've not had enough of Costco's $1.50 hot dogs. I actually had a hot dog this week in honor of Wiener Wednesday.
Yeah.
Though I did it on Monday. So I don't know.
Well, that kind of defeats the point, doesn't it?
Well, today's Wednesday, right? I can have a hot
dog. If you did it on Monday, then it's not really...
How do you know what I'm doing for dinner tonight?
Well, because you just said that you did it on Monday. What do you
Maybe
mean?
I could have another hot dog tonight.
But yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that Monday was Monday.
I had a foot-long hot dog.
What you do on your own time is none of my business.
Butcher and the boar. And that's a lot of hot dog, you know?
That is a lot of hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough of interviewees saying that's a great question. Yeah.
It's one of those verbal crutches while I buy time to think of an answer, yeah.
As an interviewee myself, though, I do love it when someone points out what a great question I asked.
When you're an interviewer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You love that.
I do like that. I like to be complimented, you know?
I haven't
But you
enough.
can tell when it's real, when it's not.
Right.
Go ahead.
I haven't enough. You're going to clobber me for this one.
It's all right.
And it's going to be very unpopular with people. But I've finally been broken. I've had enough of summer. Summer now is officially 4th on my list of favorite seasons. It's the worst. I've had enough. This has been terrible. It's been horrible. I hate it. I cannot wait for fall. I'll even take winter. Give me a full-on winter over this nonsense.
You're seriously going to put summer at number 4?
Number 4. And a distant number 4.
Come on.
100%.
This has been a bad summer.
Terrible.
Too hot. Too
Horrible.
hot.
Awful.
Are you mad about summer or you're just mad about your electric bill?
See, that's why I said you were going to jump on me with this one because I knew that's exactly where you'd go with it. That's part of it. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
That's part of it. But I've had enough.
I don't disagree with you about this summer particularly. It's been a bad one.
It's been terrible.
Yeah. Because it started the most pleasant weather. We got the smoke. So we got the smoke from the wildfires. Then we got extreme heat. This week's been pretty good. How about this?
Yeah.
Maybe August will kind of turn.
You know why this
things.
week's been pretty good? Because it feels more like fall. That's why this week's been pretty good.
It's 80 degrees.
Now.
Doesn't
but it's the evenings when it's in the 60s. That's what people dig about it. I'll tell you what reaction I didn't expect to get. It was a marriage proposal from Audrey here on YouTube. So thanks, Audrey.
Boo summer, says Audrey. Texter says, I've been at Farm Fest working a trade show booth for 2 days. I've had enough politics. Also adding that Adam Schwarzy says hi. Good, big friend of the show. Adam Schwarzy, big friend of the show. Continental Diamonds. Continental Diamond time check is 5:57. Let's turn the Twins skid around. Let's go.
Your mortgage is probably your biggest bill each month. Imagine having to pay it twice. It can happen if you buy a